Gaming news today is all about the next big thing. First, the Call of Duty being built for 2026 is allegedly leaving behind old gen. Now, is this the right time to do that in light of how many people still play on the PlayStation 4? And what other impacts could this have? Second, along with this rumor about Call of Duty being made for 2026, apparently it is being built for the next Xbox that now people are assuming is going to be landing in 2026. What will this be? Will it be a handheld, a powerful console, some kind of a PC hybrid? We'll discuss that. Third, related to all of this, we continue to hear more and more rumors about the Gears of War collection as well as the Gears of War E-Day timing. We're going to look at what's being claimed from multiple sources and outlets. And last, Split Fiction has cemented itself as another triumph for Hazelight Studios, and the Metacritic and OpenCritic scores have landed right where I was hoping and even predicted that they would. Be sure to check out my review if you haven't watched it yet. It's really helpful to me, and it opens up a lot of other possibilities when you guys support those reviews that we do. And I do have another game for your wish list and your radar. And we do really appreciate everybody who supports the channel directly. If you've never tried that on YouTube, you can click the join button and pick Member Plus. It's $6 a month, and you get into sort of the second half of this channel. We do morning coffee. We do the green room. These are sometimes very lengthy segments that you don't get to see if you're not doing that, and we need 10 more people to hit a big milestone at that Member Plus. So consider signing up or upgrading. So let's get into this. What in the world is going on with Call of Duty? Well, according to a reliable source on Call of Duty specifically, the Call of Duty being built for 2026 will be skipping old gen. Insider Gaming said the following. According to reputable Call of Duty leaker, the Ghost of Hope, who took to Twitter to break the news after it was announced that Season 3 for Black Ops 6 would be delayed until April, claiming that the 2026 title is not being developed for past generation consoles. Now, this obviously brings a lot of questions, okay? So there's a lot of players who still play on the PlayStation 4, and is this the right decision? Is this going to cause some problems? Now, keep in mind, this is the annual Call of Duty, so many would happily continue playing Warzone on their PS4 as long as it's supported and updated, but often they like to tie the two games together to motivate folks to buy that annual Call of Duty. They give you a reason in Warzone to do that. Now, if they do that again this time around, the PlayStation 4 owners would be out in the cold, and it could motivate them to finally make the jump. Especially, we have to consider next year we will be 6 years into the generation, all right? Now, GTA 6 is also set to land this year. That could be another big migration push for the old-gen gamers to finally switch. And this wasn't the only thing that came with this story, because we do know, as you well know, Call of Duty is now owned by Xbox. Apparently, the Xbox console headed for 2026 has been slightly confirmed by this leak. The second part of the claim from the Insider Gamer article about Call of Duty 2026 is that it is, quote, being developed for the next generation of Xbox. If true, this could be our first real hint that the next-gen Xbox could release around fall of 2026. So the million-dollar question is, what would this console be? Now, the handheld is allegedly years away, according to a recent Phil Spencer interview, and competing on power just doesn't seem likely. I've observed this in a recent upload. I talked about how it's time to jump ship from the Xbox console, and I just don't see them competing on power. I'm not even sure what I would predict at this point. The FTC trial made it clear their hardware plans have not been cemented, and even Phil said that those plans had changed. According to those I spoke to that sort of work in this field, the hardware available in 2022 would not have been that much different than the current stuff that's inside of the Series X and S. So whatever they would have started building, they would have had to have started then. Now, Jez Corden recently reported that his sources said Xbox has approved the next piece of hardware. It's no longer in the pitch phase, so now it's kind of going up the ladder. It's going up the chain. Well, that would mean whatever that is has about a year to get going, right? If they're going to get this thing ready and start production, they want to sell this thing, maybe holiday of 2026. So we're actually having to see what happens with this. After Black Ops 6 developed proprietary technology for the PS5 Pro with Sony's help, it's sort of some anti-lag VRR thing for the PS5 Pro enhancements, and then they worked to denoise the PSSR implementation, and that's going to help other games implement PSSR better. it just seems weird to have one of your developers doing that with Sony and their console to then come out like next year and try to leverage the power narrative again and say, oh, our Xbox is better or runs the game better. I just don't know if that's going to be the case. I welcome that. I kind of welcome that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it'd be great for a publisher the size of Xbox to start leveraging all their property with a box that runs the games really, really well. Like, that's what the Series X was supposed to be, and it wasn't. So, I don't think they're going to do that, but some of us, I guess, can maybe cross our fingers and hope that they decide to. Now, this also is related to Xbox, all the rumors about Gears of War. This is a quick one here. According to insider Ecstasis, a source told Ecstasis that Gears of War E-Day is scheduled for 2026 with a very slim possibility of it being moved forward to 2025. Now, this source also told him that the long-desired Gears of War collection is scheduled for 2025 with a reveal set for the Xbox showcase this year. It will be coming to PS5, Series X and S, PC day one. There is no information on a Nintendo Switch 2 port. Now, friend of the show, Detective Seeds, has also said that this game is coming. It'll be releasing in August. That kind of lines up with the Summer Showcase announcement, since the showcase is always in June, the Sunday after the kickoff of Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley. And then they usually do some kind of a direct after, which I'm assuming that would be maybe Call of Duty. Now, Detective Seeds is saying that the game will be PS5 Pro enhanced, but will not have multiplayer. That's what he is hearing from his sources, and Detective Seeds has gotten some things right recently. So, he said there was going to be a new AAA game announced at the PlayStation Showcase. That's what he had heard, and that happened. So, Saros was announced. Now, the collection finally being announced at the showcase, I think would get a bit of a mixed response. We've been hearing a lot about it for a while, and for it to finally come out and be announced and be hitting PS5 day and date, according to the leak, I think that will be pretty upsetting to the Xbox boys that are kind of still holding the line. Now, E-Day, Gears of War E-Day, the trailer we were just watching, if that moves back earlier, that honestly seems like a strange possibility. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to keep Gears of War E-Day slated for 2026 because they already have a really strong year right now. They've got Doom the Dark Ages, Outer Worlds 2, their annual Call of Duty, Avowed is already out, South of Midnight's around the corner. Next year could be another strong year for Xbox publishing efforts. So I don't really see the point in moving Gears back earlier unless they're looking at the fiscal calendar and they're like, listen, Gears could land in the fiscal calendar. It would do better in the holiday of 2025 than the first quarter of 2026. So maybe that's why they're trying to move it back. So we will see. Now, sadly, I don't have a Split Fiction trailer for you. I wish I did. I forgot to grab one. In case you missed it, Split Fiction is the next game from Hazelight, and it's getting review charts that are just incredible. It's taking the review charts by storm. It landed with a solid 90 on Metacritic and a 91 on OpenCritic. If you didn't see this, I actually put up a review yesterday, and it's really, really helpful when you guys support those reviews. I'm just going to pull it up right now. It's actually now at a 91 on Metacritic. It's got a 91 on OpenCritic. Now, this is right in line with my review. People asked me where it was going to land. I said It Takes Two was high 80s. I said, I think this game can grab the 90s. I think it can, and it has. This is very, very likely going to get a Game of the Year nomination. It Takes Two won, and this is essentially the successor, the evolution of that, okay? There is, I think, going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight for Game of the Year this year. It's very, very competitive. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did incredibly well. Monster Hunter Wilds reviewed incredibly well. And now Split Fiction is taking another crown at the top of that list. And listen, it's only March 5th. It's only March 5th. And everybody's talking about how gaming is washed and trash and bad and everything is terrible. And it's like, it's the third month of the year, and we already have 3 titles gunning for that podium for Game of the Year. Check out my review of Split Fiction. Thank you to everybody who already supported it. When you support reviews like that, it really helps your content creators that you like to support out there. So last but certainly not least, I got a game for your wish list and your radar. This one's called Absolum. Publisher and co-developer of Streets of Rage 4 has announced Absolum, a new scrolling beat-em-up action RPG roguelike. They describe it as a rogue-em-up. It will release on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC later this year. So they just announced this one, so you can go ahead and go wish list it. Not seeing it releasing on Xbox. Not sure what the deal is there. There have been smaller titles that have expressed frustration with Xbox about getting into contact with them. We're not sure if there's an exclusivity deal here. The fact that it's landing on PlayStation, old gen, PS5, Nintendo, and PC, I'm not sure why Xbox is being omitted from the group. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that would struggle to run on any system, especially since it's landing on the Nintendo Switch 1. But again, could be some kind of a communication problem here. This is something that was talked about in 2024 with smaller companies expressing frustration with getting responses from Xbox. So we'll see. Maybe it's just a time thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a typo. Every trailer and announcements I found did not have Xbox listed. So that's the news. And now it's time for the discussion. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Guys, make sure you are smashing that like button. Our first 100 likes. Let's try to get ourselves to 200 likes, and then let me know what you want to talk about. The show is basically yours. And Joker Quinn, Han shot first, and so did you. Thank you so much for the first gifted member of the day. We are a little bit behind on the member count because yesterday we really didn't do a full-on live show. I published my review of Split Fiction, and then we checked out some of the gameplay for you guys, so that's all on the channel. And I tell you what, you guys really turned out really big yesterday for the morning coffee and then for the Split Fiction review video. So thank you, everybody who did that. And we continue to appreciate those who support the channel directly and monetarily with memberships. If you can't afford one, make sure you're here chatting, liking, and subscribing. You know, make sure all those things and all those buttons are pressed. It increases your odds of getting one. I guess PlayStation fan not going to talk layoffs. I wrote my script last night and the PlayStation layoffs broke overnight. I didn't have time to add it to the show. I didn't even get it. I couldn't even get a count. I had one article. Kotaku had the article on it, and I was like, okay, if this continues to develop, we'll cover it. I can't do that. I can't just randomly add things to my script. I type that thing in the evening. So, you know, if you don't like that, then, you know, find a channel that's covering better than me. No, sorry I asked this right at the end of the morning coffee. Did you watch Daredevil? No. We've been re-watching the show, and since they're only doing one episode a week, yeah, we'll try to work our way. I think we're still going to work our way through the old seasons. I think we're going to do that because we really like it. My wife really likes Vince D'Onofrio, and we both really like the show. So, yeah. Detective Seeds with 33 months, and then a gifted member from Brian King, almost 3 years paying money to this tabloid. Much loved. Thank you so much. Listen, I think I'm just going to get a shirt made. You know when you have those shirt mades, and those shirts made, and it has, like, the title and, like, all the way down? I think I need a shirt that is just, like, Grifter, Pony, Tabloid, Jimmy Neutron. Like, I need that merch. I need to wear that. You know, I want people to know, you know, what they're going to get when they show up here. Hopefully nobody creates a video and outrage over me gifting a member. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. You need to say it with your chest shirt. That's right. I've decided weekly releases can go to hell, says Zubair. What do you think about the Cena heel turn? I don't watch wrestling, and that's not what the show is about. You'll need a bigger shirt. I will. It'll need to be double-sided. That's right. That's right. In any case, this is, I think, the most interesting thing in the gaming news is the next Xbox. That's more interesting to me than anything else we're seeing right now. Like, obviously, I'll cover the layoffs if we get more outlets to report on and we get some more hard numbers. But here's the thing. What on earth could they be bringing next year hardware-wise? And guys, double check. Make sure you go through that ritual. Once we're in the talk show and we're vibing, make sure that you guys are hitting that like button. If we hit 200 likes really fast, it really does help us. Yeah, clip this shirt would be good. A tabloid that doesn't cover wrestling. Yeah, sorry. Reforhead. That's right. Not more interesting than layoffs, apparently. I mean, we can cover it live, like, right here on the fly. Do we even have a number? Oh, here we go. PlayStation Studio Visual Arts reportedly hit with more layoffs. Yeah, reportedly. I'm not seeing a number here. I've got WCCF Tech reporting on it. I'm not seeing a number. Apparently, it is Visual Arts. PlayStation California offices suffer even more job cuts. So Visual Arts is located in California, you're saying they've laid off like 15 to 18 people. I mean, I feel bad for people losing their jobs, but like the company's Malaysian branch has seen 20 job cuts. The layoffs are estimated between 17 and 18, according to 80.Level's website here. Project manager, concept artist, creators. Like I don't like when people get laid off, but like, 20 people in Malaysia and 18 people in California, that doesn't seem like a front page thing to cover. Like, oh my gosh, what a disaster. It's like, yeah, there's going to be continued layoffs. They're still course correcting from the overhiring in 2020 and 2021. Like, sorry, thousands of people were laid off last year. Thousands. 20 in Malaysia and 18 in California. There's probably more people that have been laid off than that. I don't know. And anytime you respond this way, people will clip this and saying I'm being heartless and I'm saying it's not a big deal that people lost their jobs. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I cover gaming news. That's not gaming news. That like, a handful of people lost their job in Malaysia and California. All these people that want to virtue signal on Twitter about it, they can do that today. It doesn't do anything. Game Logic's in chat. I really appreciated your post, Game Logic. That's why I wanted to signal boost it. They could bring a mini PC. Yeah, let's talk about this. This is interesting, okay? Let's actually talk about the news. They could bring a mini PC with a reworked Xbox front end to be pane of glass through which you'd see Game Pass, Steam, Epic Game Store, and GOG, and containize, like a Docker, a VM of the executables, or VM the executables. I think a mini PC is to me, I think it's more likely than a handheld. I don't think they're going to do a traditional console and try to compete on power. Now, the mini PC will probably be good. It won't be weak. But I don't think they're going to market it on power. The way Phil Spencer spoke about wanting their hardware to win, he seemed to be speaking about like features. Like, you would buy it for the features. You wouldn't be buying it because like, oh yeah, it's kicking the crap out of the PS5 Pro. I don't think that's their angle. If they were going to bring something to the market next year and they were going to market it on power, I do not think they would be doing PS5 Pro enhancements on games like Doom and Black Ops 6. Those are big names in the industry. Those are big titles. I think they leave themselves headroom. I think they would. I think they would leave themselves headroom to be like, if we're going to compete on power in 2026, we want to be able to outperform the strongest console in the market. And I don't think they're doing that. I think they're going to sell you on features. And I told you guys this a while ago. I said, I could literally see the campaign slogan be more than a console. Like, that's punchy, that's memorable, that's accurate. If it could do all these different things, that's how they would promote it. They would say, and I think they would just call it the Xbox. You just call it the Xbox, more than a console. And they have like, oh, you can sideload Steam, and oh, you can do this, and oh, you can do that. And it's like, it's more than a console. It passively states, we're not trying, as Phil said, we're not trying to out-console Sony and Nintendo. We're selling you something that's more than a console. To me, I think that's the angle they would take with hardware if they're doing it that fast. No mention of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I see it's pretty big game news. That broke yesterday, and I had to focus on Split Fiction yesterday. I don't play games like that. Sorry. I could add it to a wish list radar list or something, but like, that broke yesterday, and we were all on Split Fiction yesterday. I had a very strange schedule. We did a 2-hour morning coffee. We published my review. We played the game, and then I went back to members. Like, I agree, that's pretty big, but like, it didn't get covered yesterday because I didn't do a traditional show, and we're trying to keep the show open short. If I cover everything I miss in the opening of the show, it's like you're going to have we're going to go back to 30-minute show opens, which I've been told people don't like. Luke with a $5 super chat. Sarah Bond said it would be the greatest technological leap at that podcast, and she's in charge of hardware. that would be a technological leap. If it was more than a console, if it was the first sort of console hybrid, they would say, this has never been done before. They would say that. They would say it's a big technological leap. I think compute-wise, it would have more overall CUs than a PlayStation 6 possibly, but agreed, the messaging would not be about power. It would be about being a fungible asset, multifunction, multi-access. It would be in line with their branding too. Like, we want you to be able to game however you want. Like, we're making this device to empower you to game in the way that you want to game. Like, that would be the goal. It wouldn't be, oh yeah, we're trying to do a console again. The Tony Hawk thing news broke during Lono and Madam Split Fiction. Yeah, like, I don't understand. I don't just go back and grab every single thing. To me, what I thought was the big news was Call of Duty is being developed for next year, and it's leaving behind old gen. It's being designed for a brand new Xbox, and then the stuff about Gears. I think that's bigger news than a game got announced. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm covering, like, industry-wide, big, influential topic. Like, that's way bigger to me. The Xbox stuff seems way bigger. I don't think Phil ever mentioned Steam when he talked about store launchers. I think he said Epic, if I remember correctly. I think the Steam omission isn't a mistake. I thought he did say Steam. I thought he did. Let's see. Phil Spencer, Steam, Xbox. He wants Epic Store, okay, I think you're right. Now I'm remembering whole slate Nadella. I'm remembering. He did. He inferred that they wanted, you could infer it, but he didn't directly say Steam. I don't know why. Maybe it's a harder sell. Epic is all I remember. Yeah, that's what all these headlines say. Phil Spencer wants Epic Game Store and others on consoles. Every single one of these, I literally searched, I searched for Phil Spencer Steam Xbox, and this is what I'm getting. Like, PC Game Stores on Xbox. He wants Epic Game Store and others on Xbox. I think you're correct. I think he said Epic, and people inferred from that he'd like to have Steam on the Xbox. Yeah. Sarah Bond doesn't have a thimbleful of engineering sense. Well, but she could still be communicating vision of the company and what they want to do. She doesn't have to be an engineer to do that. She could be just communicating, yeah, this is what we plan to do, something that's going to be a big technological leap. She said it will be the biggest technological leap in a generation. There is literally no way she meant power, because if she meant power, how could you possibly do that? Like, the jump from what, like PS3 to PS2, and then the jump from PS3 to PS4, there were some pretty big jumps back there. I don't think that's what she meant. I think when she said biggest technological leap, or no, she said biggest technical leap, I think. Biggest technical leap, I think that's what she's describing. She's describing a device that's going to be more than a console. That would be something that has never been done before, one generation to the next. Think about it. If you really break down what she said, one generation to the next has always been about, here's more power. And she's like, this will be the biggest technical leap ever from one generation to the next. Okay, well, she's not talking about power, because that's what they've always done. She's got to be talking about something else. That's what I think she's signaling. It's like, and I think Phil Spencer signals that when he says, we want our hardware to win on its capabilities. It's like, oh, he's talking about features. That's what I think. Guys, as you're piling in, man, what a great turnout today. We're only 20 minutes into the broadcast. Make sure that you guys go through the ritual of smashing the like button. It'll get us to 200 likes. My comment was about Sarah Bond is in charge of hardware. Just saying Bond is not a visionary and is just parroting. Well, and, right, she's probably not the one calling the shots. She's overseeing. So, like, they're telling her, hey, this is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it. And she's like, okay, I can go repeat that. You know what I mean? I don't want to besmirch her or anybody. I don't like wailing on CEOs and CFOs, like, they're usually just coming out and communicating what's already been internally decided. I'm not saying you were doing that. I just don't, there's a lot of people who have been, say, pretty unkind toward her. Like, she's just doing her job. Awesemo with 22 months. Thank you so much. We are well behind on the member count this week, guys, because I did basically take yesterday to firmly focus on Split Fiction. So we are a little behind, and you can help us catch up by celebrating your renewals or gifting. Wait, so COD is stopping last gen? That is what a very reliable source has said. This guy has gotten the Call of Duty insider leaks correct very, very regularly, Brooklyn, and he said, according to his sources, Call of Duty 2026 is not being developed for last gen. Now, if you think about it, 2026 is 6 years into the gen. So, I mean, it's probably time to switch. The dilemma they're always going to face is so many of their people are just still playing on PS4. I've become critical of her for everything is an Xbox marketing, which is just cringe. Was very much a fan of hers up until then. Oh, that's right. Isn't she like the architect behind that? Everything is an Xbox. I think that was damaging to the brand. I think everything is an Xbox was damaging to the brand. I think it made it very diluted and unclear. Like, if you think about gamers, I don't think gamers saw that and celebrated it. They were like, oh, yay, all the things that we've triumphed and celebrated the last 20 years, that's definitely it. Being able to play my game on a TV or a tablet, that's what matters to me. If you look at the marketing beats and what was successfully helping different platforms win, it wasn't that. Like, if you look at what happened with Xbox One and the TV thing, as soon as they started trying to market to something that didn't matter to gamers, it hurt them. So I don't think that the everything is an Xbox thing, I don't think it went over very well with gamers. Okay, well, let's look at non-gamers. I don't think non-gamers give a frick. I don't think they care. They're like, oh, my TV is an Xbox now? Like, they don't care. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow at 3:30, 1 to confirm. They make you confirm your appointments like multiple times. I have an appointment tomorrow with my cardiologist. They're probably going to scold me. My blood pressure is probably up. It's probably up. And yeah. Anyway. Yep, that's all they're reminding me about. Okay, cool. And if you guys are not getting notifications, for my content, please make sure that your notifications are set to all. A lot of people have been switched to personalized for some reason. And we need 30 more likes. It's doing that thing. I don't think YouTube's saving your likes, guys. Double check. We should have 200 by now. It's doing that thing. I think I've said this before, but I think the big change at Xbox is they are decoupling all their initiatives. Hardware, Game Pass, game sales. There is no coherent strategy anymore. PL says they're also diluting how devs monetize their games. What if Capcom don't want to be on some platforms? Be on Xbox where you're automatically everywhere. That's actually... What's the news with Gears? Yeah, I'll put your question up here, Brooklyn. Did they announce Gears on PS5? No. According to insiders, Gears Collection is coming to PS5, PC, Xbox day and date, and it's going to be announced at the showcase. It's going to release in August. According to Seeds' sources, it's going to be PS5 Pro Enhanced, but it won't have multiplayer. Back to the point that PL made, though. I agree with Kevin. That's a very interesting point, and I tried to say this before. I outlined it a little bit differently, but I was stressing the same point that PL is stressing, okay? If you're making a game for the Xbox platform, do you want your game on cloud? Do you want people playing your game through a Fire Stick? I don't know if you do. Now, this is tangentially related to another issue. Yo, Game Logic, that counts as 2. He just put us a 5 bomb away from the next milestone where I owe you guys some member. 145. That is huge, man. Thank you very, very much. I've always enjoyed being on podcasts with you, by the way. I have. I remember even the time where we had our little back and forth about Microsoft's contract policy. I still think that made for good television. I like talking with an intelligent, well-mannered person. So I appreciate the support of the channel as well. It's always been fun being on podcasts with you. Maybe again soon on another one or something. I'm going to be on with P-Rock tomorrow at 6. But yes, this is tangentially related to another thing we've been talking about. One of the reasons that you can't just automatically cloud stream all of your games right now, it's because of the end user license agreement. They won't, some companies are like, no. So Microsoft and PlayStation are having to go and negotiate with all these companies to make cloud streaming of the games allowed. That's why the PlayStation Portal was almost like a loophole. You're not cloud streaming, you're playing your games that you own on your PlayStation 5 remotely. Cloud streaming is different. Now, if they can rework it somehow to say you are playing on a PlayStation in the cloud, like through the legalese, they could somehow negotiate that and say, okay, this person actually is playing their game on a PlayStation 5. Because I don't know why it's different, because I own the PlayStation 5 and it's in my house, and it's a PlayStation 5 that's in a server stack somewhere. I don't know why that's different, but it's different. So think about that. Tie a big bow on this. That means every developer, every publisher bringing a game to market may not like Xbox's policy of Xbox is everywhere. You can play this game on a refrigerator. You know what I mean? It's good when people do the work, can disagree, and still be conscientious and respect each other's opinion. Socratic method in the amphitheater is always good stuff. 100% agreed. Sometimes I wish I was a less passionate person, and again could just be more just more stoic, more calm, more Socratic. But a leopard can't change his spots, man. I'm just a freaking firecracker, I'm sorry, Porter Rock is Friday. I keep thinking it's Thursday. I apologize. The show with Porter Rock is Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. It is not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. I keep getting my days mixed up. People push. It's hard not to push back. I'm doing my best. Because I'm getting hit from all angles, it seems. Some days it does. It literally feels like I'm in a trench getting shot at from every angle. What was I saying? Yeah, so every publisher and developer right now making a game, they may say, no, we don't want our game to be cloud streamed, and that could be a pretty significant disruption to Xbox's plans. Picture a really big title. Let's just imagine that Rockstar and GTA 6, they say, no, we don't want people to do that. We want GTA 6 to only play on the consoles. We don't want that game to be cloud streamed. Isn't that a pretty big blow to Xbox's whole marketing spiel? Well, I thought everything was an Xbox. I bought GTA 6 on my Xbox, and I can't play it on the cloud. Right? That's an inadvertent blow to the Xbox marketing. You basically need every third-party developer and publisher on board, or your whole marketing spiel is destroyed. It suddenly is defunct. It's well, no, every screen is on an Xbox. I can't play all my Xbox games everywhere. I mean, that's true right now. Did you see that PlayStation have 50% over market share in UK and only 8% for the Xbox? Oh, the hardware battle is bad. I mean, it's bad. There's no reason to beat that dead horse. Can we get 10 more likes? Speaking of beating dead horses, chat, can we get 200 likes? And let me tag team with somebody. We need a 5-bomb to 150, and I'll drop one. You guys have been scrambling every week to hit the goal. We were going to do member streams of Madam and I in the evenings of Split Fiction for you members. I think you guys would enjoy that. We got to tie it to the member incentive, though. I think we need to be ahead of pace for that, because that's our evening. But I'm willing to do it. You guys bring the heat. You bring the support. We'll do extra streams on Thursday and Saturday. We'll do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing where If we're ahead of pace, I'll let you guys unlock those evenings. That'll be really fun. Those could be like stretch goals for each day. So like today we need to end at 300. You know, you secure in your head a goal going in every day or something, we'll like unlock, and we'll stream that night and hang out with y'all. Split Fiction is so dadgum fun. We stayed up way too late last night playing it. We're still not done. We're up to like 1 last night. I lost track of time. We were having such a good time. I don't even know how many hours we put in. Let me pull up my app and see. We are at 19 hours and we're not done. Now, I was told it's about a 20-hour game. I think Skillup was mistaken when he said 12 hours. Ain't no way. We have really put in the work. Now, we played like an hour with you guys yesterday, so subtract an hour, like 18. But still, 18 hours. Madam with the hard carry. And a 5-bomb from Luke Vaders. There it is. It's time to tag team. We're at 150. 150. I'm going to drop the 5-bomb that I owe you guys. Every 25, I give 5. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you, Luke, for that continued support. This could start a little member train here, and you guys could unlock those evening streams. Thank you so much. I'll say it. If we're ever... we could just make it to where if you're 50 ahead of pace at the end of the day, you could unlock it. I could even talk to Madam about streaming tonight. Like, if y'all go crazy and we end today at 350, I'll tell her, like, babe, we got to stream. We got to do it. Is Black Ops 6 being on XCG making Ubisoft money like it was supposed to? I have no idea. I wouldn't even know where to look for that information. Yeah. I was surprised to see you still playing last night when I logged into my PS5. We're just going. I think we're right at the end, though. I do think we are right at the end. And Mash with the 200 bomb. Yeah. Or Pathalon Phoenix. Mash and Pathalon Phoenix and Rissick. Holy crap, they've been bringing the heat lately with the support. I've become happily single and I don't have anyone to play Split Fiction with. Well, you can buy it and you can basically... another person can play with you for free. So... You know, honestly, a great way to find people to play Split Fiction with would be to become a member here and get in our Discord. We have a very active Discord. Tons of people in there to play with. Just, guys, make sure anytime you become a member to this channel, pick Member Plus. Don't pick the Member Light tier. You want to be at the $6 tier. And let me see where we are, because Game Logic might have bumped us, and I know Detective Seeds had to jump back in as well. We're at 591. We are the closest we have ever been. We need 9 people to either upgrade or buy Member Plus, and we'll hit 600. That milestone that's the closest we've ever been. Split Fiction has a Discord if you want to find a partner. That as well. Does it have crossplay? Yes, it does. And the letting somebody play for free is also crossplay. You can buy it on your Xbox, and the other guy, if you have a friend on PlayStation or PC, they can play with you for free. They don't have to buy the game. It's a very, 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 very gamer video game. Super fixated on giving gamers a good time. And somebody just left a comment on my review. Guys, make sure you're watching that review. And Game Logic says, I'll do a 10-bomb to get the train started. That is so kind. He signs up for my biggest member package today and drops a 10-bomb. Guys, get on board. You can unlock some evening streams with Madam and I, and make sure you're leaving comments on that Split Fiction review. It is awesome. Let's see here. Let's see how it's going. Oh, it's pulling up a little bit. It's pulling up. My review is pulling up. This guy said Split Wokshin. LOL, cry more. People are claiming it's woke. Like, how dare a game have lead characters that aren't men? Oh my gosh, it's so woke. My gosh, these people. I don't even think they're going to charge for licensing these cloud games back to Microsoft. I'm not sure what you mean, Paul. Glad you enjoyed the video. Yeah, I also have a video about PS5 must-play games. That's doing fine. I thought that was going to pull up and do a little bit better, but it's a little late to the party. I found an article post saying Ubi has recouped the cost on that cloud deal by the beginning of the year. Okay. I've jumped back into Returnal because of your video. I'm getting wrecked, but I understand the mechanics so much more now. I wish you luck. It's such a great game. It's such a satisfying game. Does Game Logic have a YouTube I can subscribe to? I believe he primarily just posts like really thoughtful things on Twitter. He's got like, sometimes he'll do like lengthy tweets or threads on the gaming business and gaming things on Twitter, and then he's on Brap's show, and there's another. Feel free to talk about the other show you're on. I can't remember the name of the other one. I could go to Twitter and tell you. Reforge Gang, what's good, ADR Zone? How are you? I got this new keyboard, and y'all both have podcasts. Let's make an issue out of this. We might. If you want to follow him on Twitter, here he is. If you want to follow him on Twitter, it's spelled the same way. It's Game Logic. It's just an IQ at the end. Okay? Co-host of Enough to Keep Going Gaming Podcast. Co-host of BRAP. Regular guests on DPS. Current games, Sniper Elite, Resistance Avowed, and then TV White Lotus. There you go. Throw him a follow. Good takes, good insight, good commentary on gaming. Just be careful while playing Returnal and listening to Lono at the same time. It can kill your run. Man has a hand for that. Hey man, I'm not trying to make anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody die in Returnal. You know that I love that game. This guy on my Monhunt video says, you should have said woke 87 times. Maybe people would have started listening. People really are unhappy about my Monhunt video, but there's a lot of people that have left comments that have said they're really thankful that somebody made the video to kind of call the game out, to be like, this game is fun, but good gracious, it's in bad shape. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? To me, it represents a lot of what's wrong in the industry. It's like, it's a highly praised game, likely going to get a Game of the Year nomination. It's been insanely commercially successful, and it's in a disastrous state. Earlier, you said you were going to be on with P-Rock tomorrow. Yes, I misspoke, Brad. That's Friday. That's Friday. Yes. I misspoke. I keep thinking it's Thursday. I don't know why. The week's been a bit of a blur. You know, it's been a little stressful, a little frustrating for particular reasons, but you know, we're pressing on, and I'm trying not to lose my dadgum mind. You know, I'm trying not to lose my dadgum mind, and we got an incentive. I don't know what emote I could put down here to stress the incentive. Here, let me see if I can get a split fiction PNG. We could put a split fiction PNG down here. Oh yeah, these circle ones are usually really good. Let me save the image as, there we go. Yeah, so the incentive is, if we get ahead of pace on the week, Madam and I will do evening streams, not just on Friday. We'll do them during the week. So if you guys are looking for something fun to watch during the week, we'll do some split fiction. There it is. Now it's down there as an incentive attached to that. Returnal is actually based on dying, so dying in Returnal is actually necessary. It really is. Like, if you can sort of transcend that part of it, here, I'll make it really easy to understand. So today's goal, that's what we'll do. Instead of doing the weekly, we'll kind of do an on-the-fly thing this week. If you get to 350 today, we'll give you a split fiction stream. Like, each day, we'll just say, if you're this ahead on pace, we'll give you extra streams. Because I enjoy those streams on Friday night with you guys. I'm happy to give you more content. The state of Monhunt on PC. Monster Hunter Wilds is a perfectly coded game, says Co-Carnage. Look at this handsome man here playing the game. You know, battling with those pixel demons. Those are actually monsters in the game. They're known as pixel demons. The best weapon to use on them is the gun lance. So clearly Co's got a good strategy going here, and he manages to. The pixel demons are now eating the monster, and yeah, it's just. I mean, honestly, that's AAA polished multi-plat release right there, boys. That's excellent. Lono, a man of taste. Find it hard to believe Xbox is releasing another console unless it's a Fire Stick type device. I actually like watching you playing Returnal. Hey, you know what's fun? This could be really fun. I mean it. If you guys respond strongly to Split Fiction, and we have the ability now to do 2 monitors, and the other night when Madam and I played Monhun, we had the different perspectives and we were changing the perspectives, we could do Returnal that way, and it would be a freaking blast. Whenever we tried to do Returnal, I had to play on the Portal, and that just makes me severely handicapped in the fights. That could be something really fun we do with you guys as an incentive. I like playing Returnal with Madam. You know? The game is in a horrible shape, says Brooklyn. The only reason it's not getting called out like crazy is because it's Capcom. Any other publisher would have been cooked. Yeah, I know. People were telling me, they were like, oh, they did the thing with the editing vouchers in Monster Hunter World. I'm like, so? Like, if I go into a restaurant and they slap my hand, you know, and I drop my cup, and I'm like, what in the world? And they're like, oh, it's okay. That they did that last time. That doesn't make it okay. It's like, that did it last time. Oh, that's okay, yeah. You can charge me to edit my character since you did last time. Shiny Red Flag gifts a member, and he says, let's do it. Let's get ahead of pace. Let's hit 350 on the day. And Wilbur as a brand new member plus. Guys, upgrades and brand new member pluses count as 2. That's 163. I think Wilbur just set a new record for the channel. Wilbur, I think you literally just set a new record for the channel. Thank you so much. Let me see. I'm excited. Yes, 592. That's a new record. We are now 8 away. We are now 8 people away from we have a milestone of 600. We have a milestone of 600 and we're 8 away. Holy mackerel, that's the closest we've ever been. If you upgrade or sign up brand new, you can help us with that. Thank you very much, Wilbur. If we get to 600, can we finally get our effing tracksuits? Of course. Who said Ubisoft made their money back on the Xbox Cloud Gaming deal? Do you have a source? Not doubting. Would like to read the details. This is going to be funny, but their name was literally nobody. I'm pretty sure their username was nobody, so nobody said that. We could do a whole bit, you know? Like, who said that Ubisoft made their money back? Oh, nobody. Nobody said that. Oh, nobody said it. Yeah, nobody said it. Oh, okay, so there's no source. No, nobody said it, so ask nobody. 600 and Lono has to play the Swamp Monster? I actually tried a little bit last night. That freaking guy. I got really close. So the thing where you buzz your weapon and set it on fire, how easy is it to have a ton of those? Because I absolutely cooked him in first phase. I went in and couldn't believe how fast I killed him, and I was like, okay, I might be able to do this. And then I went back in and they were gone, and I was like, oh, those are consumables. Like, I hate playing fights with consumables, and that's why. Who's on first? That's right. I can't get anybody to respond to nobody. That's because anybody is anybody to not nobody. That's right. You tried last night. I tried for a little bit. Yeah. I got the second phase and fell apart multiple times, but I'm getting the second phase way faster. And I watched Lobo's video, and I'm like, oh, first phase is all about the dodge. Second phase seems to be all about the parry. You can buy those. Yeah, I just don't like doing that, though. I want to run back in and fight the fight. Run back in, fight the fight. Run back in, fight the fight. Not have to go buy consumables. You need a different element for phase 2? Oh. I don't think they've ever released the one-off payment details to Microsoft for the deal. Are you going to try out Shadows? Yes, I am. Yes. I don't know if Assassin's Creed Shadows is launching with co-op. I know they're planning it. I would love to play that game beginning to end with Madam. It would be really fun. It would. You guys have been saying you want more gameplay on the channel. That's a really great way to get it. I mean, we've got the Split Fiction incentive. We could do Returnal. You guys have said that would be fun to watch Madam and I play Returnal. Imagine watching Madam and I play Assassin's Creed Shadows. That would be a dadgum riot. That'd be hilarious. Your avoidance of consumables is a weird quirk. We should explore one of these days. And J Ragan Knight, is that a brand new member plus? Or did you just upgrade? Did you just get us even closer? Let me double check. No, it looks like you've been at that tier for a month. Yeah, we're still at 592. That counts as one in the total, though. It does. 164. There we go. You got this, my bro, I believe. Thank you, Lobo. Can you co-op AC Shadows? Yeah, it was revealed by Insider Gaming that they are doing co-op. Yes. Yep. Imagine watching you, madam, play 12 minutes. Absolute cinema. Still pulling for that. Still pulling for that. So if you guys are just tuning in, we've talked about a whole host of things. We've talked about the next Xbox console. We've talked about Black Ops. I'm sorry, I keep saying Black Ops. We've talked about Call of Duty 2026 leaving behind old gen. We've talked about Gears of War. You guys can ask questions about anything going on in the gaming news. And Dylan's going to gift a member, and he gets us to 10 away. We are now a 10 bomb away for me owing you guys 5 more members. We'll see if anybody wants to dunk at home. Good setup there, Dylan. Have you ever played Sifu? I didn't like Sifu. Like, I liked Sifu, and then I didn't like Sifu. There were attack telegraphs that just irritated me in that. Like, you couldn't see them. It was frustrating. Yeah. I wanted to love it. I really did. I wanted to love that game, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. So, I'm still working my way through Ender Magnolia. I got some new abilities last night. That was pretty cool. Okay, so AC Shadows may not launch with co-op, but according to Insider Gaming, they're working on something called, like, I think that the code name was like League or something weird. And they're going to allow you to play the game co-op. Yeah. If there's no multiplayer, I retract everything I've ever said about purchasing that Gears collection. What do you guys think about that? According to Detective Seeds, the Gears of War collection will be PS5 Pro enhanced, but not have multiplayer. Let's just pretend he's right. I'm not saying he's right. He could have bad info. Let's say the info is solid. Here's why I think it could be. I don't think they anticipate that getting a lot of engagement for very long. Because Gears of War E-Day is coming. Do you see? Like, Gears of War E-Day is probably where they're going to want to turn their focus. If they're going to do ongoing, battle passes, PvP, etc. Like, I think they're going to want to put the eggs in that basket. I don't think they see it as like, we really got to make sure we launch 3 Gears games because, with multiplayer, because people are going to play it a bunch. I get your desire to have them launch with multiplayer. I got to tell you, I think the engagement would be not great. I don't think it would be that great. Just pick one of them to have it. Yeah, maybe. The no binary checklist. Yeah, don't buy Split Fiction because of feminism. Don't buy 33 Immortals because it has anti-Christian themes. It's bad, dude. It's bad. That's asinine. Yes, asinine. It's a horrible decision, says Ashen. And if that's the case with E-Day, good Lord, what a travesty of a decision. I don't think that speaks highly of their confidence in its... Well, they didn't put... Okay. So there's no multiplayer in Doom the Dark Ages, right? Wouldn't it be hilarious if Gears of War E-Day actually is following that pattern and they're like, nah, we're not going to do multiplayer? Do you remember how much hate and ridicule I got for just an offhanded remark where I said they haven't confirmed multiplayer? Like, we don't know, right? We don't know. A9 Acidine's here. Good to see you. And I got so much ridicule, and they lied and said that I said that, Gears of War wasn't going to have multiplayer. Because the meta of clipping someone falsely summarizing it on Twitter and getting reactions from people is like a whole thing now. Like, I literally just offhanded remark. I was like, well, they haven't confirmed multiplayer. Wouldn't it be hysterical if that ends up being the case? I think it will have multiplayer. I think it will. I could see the collection not having it, though. I could see the collection not having it. They would just say, listen, the demand for it won't be high enough to warrant its development. What are you sharing with me, Brooklyn? What's going on here? Thank you for considering us top publisher. While our media ads typically don't allow comments, our regular posts do. Huh? We know that guy hates what the game is about for the anti-woke content. I like how Ubisoft responded with classic. They were literally replied to him. March 20 is when Assassin's Creed Shadows ships. They're so confident they locked replies to this. and they said, "Thank you for considering us a top publisher. While our media ads typically don't allow comments, our regular posts do." I didn't see who they were replying to. Remember to identify as non-binary. I'll tell you what, Grums, I'm going to identify as buy 2 copies. I'm going to buy 2 copies. You know? Jiminy Christmas. They actually call it non-binary. When you become the thing you claim you hate. When you become the thing you claim you hate, don't make it about identity politics, as we make everything about identity politics. I said it before, and I'll say it again. These guys don't want DEI. They want me-EI. They want every game to be about them and for them. That's what they want. They are in full support of me-EI. They hate DEI, but they sure love me-EI. Good Lord. Buy 2 copies. I'm glad somebody picked that up, Trill. Buy 2 copies. Oh, for frick's sake. Yeah, non-binary. Its pre-orders are tracking behind Odyssey. Jiminy Christmas. It'll be as successful. It'll probably pull like a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and it'll do well, and they'll just ignore it, right? Like they all claim Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is woke. It's commercially successful, and they just moved on to Avowed. They're like, oops. Split Fiction, yeah, non-binary trash. It's probably on pace to be a Game of the Year nominated game. It'll probably be very commercially successful. That's a bar. I came up with that the other day. I was just joking around. I was like, these guys are so upset about the irony of being upset about DEI and constantly crying about you're not being represented. It's like, wait a minute. So you feel like you should have more representation? Holy frick, you're a fish that doesn't know it's wet. It's like, do you hear what you're saying? Like, DEI is bad. What you want is me-EI. You want every game to be for you and representing you and your tastes. What the heck? We'll just have to create the letter me. Yes, me. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is another example. It's like, It's again, you're a fish that doesn't know it's wet. It's like, DEI. But then you want representation of you. Like, huh? Wait, I thought that you were against that. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. What is this? Oh, it's a code for a game. Like, they put the code for the game in the title of the email. I was like, huh? Like, they used to count people on the other side for the conversation for years. This sort of stuff's crazy. If you don't want to play it, then don't play it. You know what I mean? Online co-op RPG sequel. Jadonia 2 is launching into Steam Early Access on April the 9th. Okay. I was like, what is that about? I saw the word co-op. Got my attention. I'm like a dog that hears the car driving by. Baldur's Gate 3 is the king of woke, but they can't say a thing because it's also a generation-defining game. Yeah. They'll find reasons to excuse Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's commercial success and high review scores. They'll find a way to do the same thing with Split Fiction. Okay, you know. Listen, the Death Stranding 2 state of play, I don't know. The only state of play that we know they're doing about an individual game is Borderlands 4, which to me means we'll probably get a state of play about Yote and Death Stranding 2, but I don't know. Oh, what are the odds? You guys both submitted questions at the exact same time. I'll probably only be able to feature one of them. Dave won the fight, so I'll just answer your question on the fly here, Spice King. Spice King says, what are your thoughts on the Gears collection potentially not shipping with multiplayer? Never been a Gears guy, but that sounds like a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake if they want people playing Gears of War E-Day multiplayer. All right, track with me, okay? Track with me. They're going to be putting Gears of War on PlayStation and opening up the franchise to a whole new swath of people. And if you want those people diving in and playing multiplayer in Gears of War E-Day, the last thing you want is slices of the community over here hanging out in the collection. You want everybody in the E-Day numbers. If you want your multiplayer to win, you want a full funnel. So I get the frustration. I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm speaking pure strategy here. I'm not saying like, oh, I agree with this decision. I'm saying from a strategy perspective, they want every single person with the pulse who likes Gears playing Gears of War E-Day's multiplayer, not the collection. And kind of like how the Master Chief Collection continued to have people playing it instead of playing Infinite. I'm not saying that's why Infinite's multiplayer struggled. There was a litany of reasons, but you know, you got to consider how many people are playing the collection instead of playing your new game. I'm not political. Make gaming fun again. I've been having a blast this gen. I don't know what you've been playing, but I don't know. I've rolled credits on Plague Tale Requiem, Nine Souls, Tales of Iron 1 and 2, Space Marine 2, Kena Bridge of Spirits. I'm closing in on finishing Ender Magnolia. It's March. I rolled credits on 7 games. Like, I'm having a blast. I don't know why you're not having fun. It's so weird that people have the freedom of speech, but mostly resorts to cancel attempts on whoever doesn't agree with their delusional utopia. Yeah, they're anti-cancel culture until it's something that they don't like. Then they're like, yes, let's cancel these games. Let's cancel these community managers. Let's boycott the game and not buy it because they don't believe what we believe. Oh, so you're a cancel pig. Got it. Cool. Okay, like that's the thing that you claim to be fighting against. You know what I mean? Being sarcastic. Oh, you're being sarcastic. Sorry, Digital. You need emotes. Emotes help with that. We have a Kappa emote for sarcasm. If you guys are ever being sarcastic, you just put Lono Kappa at the end. Yo, can we get 50 more likes on the video? Let's get to 300 likes. And we are running a unique incentive this week. If you guys can get ahead of pace, usually we're going for 500 a week. We've changed this, okay? If you can get ahead of pace and we end today at 350, Madam and I will do a split fiction stream tonight, and we'll do the same thing every day. We'll have an ahead of pace goal and then a stretch goal. You guys can basically get members content every night if you do it. These servers are up and running with crossplay already. I'm not it's not a crazy difficult task. It's half-assed. I won't be buying day one anymore. I mean, I think if a product's not offering you the multiplayer that you think should be there, and that's what you were going to engage with, it makes sense to not buy. It totally does. I mean, you know. This guy commented on my split fiction video. He says, I'm going to get this with co-op with my wife. Reforge, I'm going to assume that your missus knows that PlayStation buttons without looking at the controller, that will be a bit tricky for my wife as she's used to the Nintendo Switch button layout rather than PlayStation. You can rebind everything. My Dodge was different than my wife because of the game I was playing before this. Yeah, you can rebind all... You can rebind all of the keys. Yo, I've never used a, what's this called? Is it magnetic? I've never used a magnetic keyboard before, and we'll do an official thing where I kind of show this thing off. It's like this little, it's like this little adorable keyboard, and it's heavy and punchy, and it feels so good to type on. And I'm like look how little this thing is. Look at this little adorable thing that they sent me. And it just feels great to type on. Like, I've got it closer to me now, so when I type on the gaming rig, I'm typing way better. Because I'm not, like, reaching over stuff. The discourse is disappointing, but it's awesome to be able to come to a place where we can have fair and balanced discussion that's intelligent and intentional. It's well needed. Well, I need you guys to spread the word, right? Mechanical? No, it is not mechanical. It is magnetic. It is a magnetic switch keyboard. It's meant to help with like, it's supposed to have crazy reaction time. So if you're playing like competitive, yeah, it's a Lono size. That's right. Magnetic Hall effect keyboard. Unlike, my eyes are bad. Unlike traditional mechanical keyboards, the L5HE is driven by Hall effect sensors and magnetic switches, propelling gamers and typists into the realm of digital customization and full control over key press, actuation point, travel distance, and functionalities. It has an 8,000 hertz polling rate. Yeah, they reached out. It came all the way from China. I mean, it may be hacking into the matrix right now and sending all my info, but I mean, I'll play better in video games, so who cares? The keyboard. I'm being stupid, mama. People are coming around to your content and thoughts more and more. I mentioned that yesterday to you. Where's the link? I don't have the link and all that set up yet. We'll do a more official sponsored thing and mention it. They're not paying me, but they sent it to me for free. Takes glasses off to read. I'm getting old. I can't read little tiny print anymore if it's close to my face. I have to take my glasses off. My eyes can't do the focal point change, okay? Getting old sucks. Anyways, guys, do me a favor. If you haven't hit like yet, do it. We're real close. It moved a little bit, but we needed to move it again. Let's get to 300 likes. And I need you guys to help me out. I really, really do. If you like the content and you think that you get accurate information and honest opinions, I think those two things are, great bedfellows. I think they go together very well. I give you accurate information. I read the news. I cover the news. And then I give you honest opinions. If you like it, I need you to make sure that you let people know that, okay? A lot of folks out here trying to act like I'm not that and calling me a tabloid and a grifter and stuff. So I'm not saying to attack anyone. I'm saying let viewers and gamers know that you feel like this is a great place to come. Mash with the 20 bomb says, let's get it, boys. Let's get the goal. It's a daily goal now. We're going for something a little bit different. Mash says, to celebrate us Canadians getting wrecked by U.S. tariffs. I am sorry, Mash. I hope it's short. I really hope it's short because it's not gonna be fun. We don't need to discuss it, but yeah, not fun when this kind of stuff's going on. Any news on Gears PS5? Insiders are saying that Gears E-Day coming PS5 day and date scheduled for 2026. Now there's a slim possibility it could be moved back earlier into 2025. Yeah, and the Gears collection is apparently going to be announced at the showcase and released in August. Now the big debate right now is it not having multiplayer. Okay, somebody wanted my thoughts on that. I think it's pure strategy. I don't think they want a bunch of PlayStation users jumping in for the first time into the collection and spending their time in the multiplayer, right? I think they want, I think they want people playing E-Day's multiplayer. I think they want people playing E-Day's multiplayer. I literally think that's what it comes down to. Like, it's as simple as that. They want people, in that funnel, and you're gonna divide the gaming community up. You're gonna divide the fans up if you've got people playing the collection and playing the multiplayer. So, if you want the new game's multiplayer to be popping, you need to give people a taste. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I do think in general though, if you're thinking strategy as well as like long term, do you want to be supporting the new cross-play netcode, the new infrastructure, the new player demand? You know what I mean? Man, they will not stop asking me to do this, creature. They want me to verify my identity with Google Ads, but they're asking me for information that I don't have. They're wanting me to verify myself as an advertiser, and I don't have any of this information. They're like, enter your organization's name and address. It's like, you need a Dun and Brad sheet. I don't have any of that. I'm not an advertiser. Why are you asking me for this information? What the frick is going on? What does the Gears collection include? I believe the assumption is it'll be... I believe it's going to be like what, Gears 1 through 3 like remastered or something, like next gen? Isn't that the rumor? D&B is a credit reference sheet, isn't it? I don't know what it is. You can pay for sponsors on YouTube. They let you do that, and now they want me to like give them my information as an advertiser. I was like, I don't even know what this information is that you're asking for. I'd buy it. I'd buy that if they were shutting down the current servers. How do you know that's not part of the plan? I mean, we don't know, Eugene. There could literally be a plan to shut down those servers and no longer support them. We use them when establishing vendor accounts so we can bill and pay them with POs and invoice terms rather than payment on demand. It's a credit reference sheet? Can I go get that from my bank? We need 15 more likes on the video. We need 15 more members for me to owe you guys a 10 bomb. Right now I owe you 5. I'll owe you a 10 bomb if this can get to 200. Your review of Split Fiction had a bit more spoilers for bosses and boss fight mechanics than I was hoping for, but glad you're able to review it. Those are real early fights, though. I only that's like the first and second boss fight. I don't think you'll be that upset when you roll credits. You'll understand what I mean. And a 5 bomb comes in from Alex, and he gets us within 10. Let's do a tag team 10. Somebody drop a 10, and then I'll drop the 10 that I owe you, and we'll be even closer to our new daily incentive. You hit 350, you'll get an evening Split Fiction stream. We're going to make that an ahead of the curve goal. Could be wrong on the Gears 3 bit only being for ranked. I don't know. For what it's... Oh, for your information. And a 10 bomb from MASH says, I'll tag team with you. And there it is. 200. That's what we want to see. All right, I owe a 10 as well now. Thank you so much, MASH. No need for people to sit on the fence, man. You can always jump in and tag team and drop member bombs, and MASH is going to lead the charge sometimes. I want to read this, though. Glory says, FYI, Gears 1 and 2 use peer-to-peer networking. We didn't get any kind of dedicated server functions till Gears 3, which I think was mostly just for ranked. So wait, Glory, right now, educate me. Educate me on this. I'm ignorant. So are there no dedicated servers for Gears anywhere? Are there any? Do any of the games have dedicated servers that are currently running, or is it peer-to-peer? Or does Gears 3 have dedicated servers that could get shut down? And you're saying it was just dedicated servers for ranked? Did Feed get a gifted yet? I don't know. We've been trying to get Feed for a while. I don't think he did. It's a business reference number. What's a DUNS number used for? Establishing business credit, getting small business loans, evaluating potential partners, seeking new contracts, tracking business activity and relationship, providing information. Yeah, I don't know where I'm supposed to get that for you, and I don't know why YouTube wants it. You can register for one on their website. Okay. They just want to know who I am. I'm happy to provide that information, but I don't have that information. Did chat die? Did we literally kill chat with gifteds? Let me refresh chat. Is YouTube crashing out or something? We have 520 people here. What is happening? Testing. There we go. Gears 1 and 2 were peer-to-peer from launch as far as I know. When Gears 3 launched, we only had servers for ranked gameplay as far as I can tell. I cannot verify if that changed, but I doubt that it did. I had to refresh. I was like, what is going on? I'm honestly surprised Tony Hawk is releasing games instead of just making Tony Hawk Skateboarding, where they launch updated maps every few months. I'm being told that there's no reports about layoffs at PlayStation, since somebody was trying to say I wasn't covering the PlayStation layoffs. I told you I only saw one article and I was waiting for corroboration. It's likely a team being dissolved. Yeah, I don't know if we're dealing with like widespread layoffs at PlayStation. We could only verify, maybe 20 people in Malaysia and then 18 in California, but those could have been, again, just teams being dissolved. There's new AMD cards are going to shake up the market, says Jake. That is if people can freaking wake up and stop blindly supporting NVIDIA. I'm excited for the Gears of War collection coming to PS5. Hopefully it's true. I hope we get physical release on PS5 and not just a digital release like Forza 5. If there's demand, they could end up doing a physical for Forza. People seem to be pretty upset about that. Couple more likes, guys, and we're at 300. And, man, I'm going to keep banging on this drum. We're so stinking close to the Member Plus goal. If you guys have never supported the channel before, consider it. Consider doing it. We're 8 away. We need 8 people, and you'll unlock an IRL celebration stream. I want Gears 1 through 5 and Judgment in that collection. Yeah, there's going to be economic realities that come from the tariffs, Dead-Eyed Survivor, and we're obviously just going to try to dance around it. A Reforge Gaming Logic podcast would be fire. It'd be fun. We're trying to find times where we can do that. We're trying to make it to where on Thursdays at noon, open up the mic to mutuals, right? A mutual open mic, right? We'll call the segment Mom. I'm kidding. MOM, mutual open mic, where, people like Game Logic or Doc Dark or, Brap, creators that I like 30 and Still Gaming, creators that I get along with and respect, bring them on and let them talk, And hey, maybe I'll feel froggy. Maybe I'll feel a little froggy and I'll say, hey, you call me a tabloid. Why don't you hop on the mic? Let's talk about what in the heck's going on here. I don't know. Maybe we will maybe we will. Maybe I'll dip my toe. Maybe I'll dip my toe into that nonsense and be like, what in the frick's going on over here? Why are you saying this? We don't know what's sure. There's one article from Kotaku. There were a couple of other articles, but they all seem to be referencing the Kotaku article. What does IRL stand for? It's basically a mobile, like an IRL stream in real life, where you use your phone. That's it. So, you guys are talking about Skate. You're talking about graphics cards. I don't have anything to interact with here. You guys are having a great conversation without me. Yeah, talking about how tariffs could influence prices is just an economic fact. We don't have to say whether or not we agree with the tariffs. Do you see the difference? Right? If you do tariffs to other countries, it could impact prices of items, right? I haven't said whether or not I agree with them. You might agree with this one and not that one. You might agree with all of them. You might disagree with all of them. We don't need to discuss that. It's the next Xbox. So, this rumor came from a reliable Call of Duty source, right? Yeah, the Clear Obscure Expedition 33 previews. I didn't get a chance to do a preview roundup because, again, it hit at a bad time. And you guys know I'm in that game's corner. I think Expedition 33 could be a Game of the Year sleeper. I think it could end up getting a nomination. So I want to look at those, but we didn't get a chance to today. What I was going to say is we got this information from a reliable source about the next Call of Duty. So Call of Duty 2026, according to this source who gets Call of Duty info correct a lot, they're building Call of Duty 2026 and they're leaving behind old gen, and they're also building it for the next Xbox, which that means people think it's coming next year then. A new Xbox is coming in 2026. Done numbers are free, so you could get one for Reforge Gaming or Roast or whatever, however you identify the business, and then it's yours forever, and you could use it for a bunch of stuff. It's a way for businesses to interact with each other financially. Okay, cool. About time. It's time to leave the PS4 behind. Yeah, I mean, do you guys think that's a mistake? Yeah, that could be pretty disruptive. I kind of agree. It's 2026. It's the end of 2026. You're 6 years into the gen. It's like, yeah, it's time. It's time. They need to stop making a new COD every year. Well, heartwarming. The worst people you know are all fighting. That's right. We should have left them behind 2 years ago. It's really hard for Call of Duty to leave PS4 behind because so many people play there. I gotta turn this brightness down on this monitor. I turned it up for gameplay and now it's like blinding me. No, I have not done this yet. Dave Langer asked this question. Have you watched any of the new gameplay videos for Expedition 33? I haven't had a chance to. We really had to put the pedal to the floor to get that Split Fiction review made. So I have not had a chance to look at it. Cut the cord. I think it's time to cut the cord, but you got to understand why they couldn't do it the last couple of years. There's just so many people who play Call of Duty on PS4. You're talking about, 60-something, even earlier in the gen. You're talking somewhere between 60 and 80 million people that are on PlayStation 4 still, and a huge percentage of them buy Call of Duty. Making COD every year is a problem. I don't disagree. I do not disagree. I think if you're going to make a Call of Duty every year, you're basically signing up for all of the things that people get tired of. It just gets tiring. It's like they come out, they don't seem to be, to be ready. There's, it's hard to innovate. It's hard to add new features. And even when you're daisy chaining and parallel developing, and you've got like one team working on one for this year and one team working on one for the next year, it's like, that's going to cause an issue. You're still creating, I think, really, really narrow development cycles, really short development cycles. Even Elsa knows when to let it go. That's right. It's time for the old gen owners. Here's the thing. I think there's a variety of things that will make people switch. I think obviously GTA 6 this year is going to make people switch. It will. Making COD every year is a problem. It should be every quarter. El Dunarino's like, Mash, what have you done? So, I think GTA 6 will cause a pretty big swell of people to switch. I think so. And that, I think, is in their corner. By the time the end of 2026 rolls around, you know what I'm saying? What was the sales split for COD? I thought PS4 was low compared to the current generation, but I don't remember the percent split. What? Oh, you didn't say PlayStation, you said PS4. I was like, PlayStation's never been low in the split. GTA 6 on PS4? No, GTA 6 will not be on PS4. GTA 6 is going to make people switch. You will see an absolute surge of sales. When GTA 6 lands. PS5 will have a big bump in their sales because they're already dominant. So they're going to be the go-to console. They're going to be. To the point that it might be, if they do that with GTA 6 and then they do it with Call of Duty, you're talking about a massive, massive uptick. PlayStation 5 will have a very healthy second half this gen because of Call of Duty and GTA 6. If the rumor about Call of Duty is true, you talk about the fifth and the sixth year of the gen staying healthy for PlayStation, buddy, that's going to help. Even Xbox will have a bump in sales? Yeah, probably. I don't think to the degree that PlayStation will, but I think, yeah, even Xbox will have a bump. Didn't Cole already say that GTA 6 has a marketing deal with Sony? That's not been confirmed. A bunch of people have claimed it. I've not seen anybody reputable saying that they have a deal. I've heard people saying, I've heard. Most of the insiders that have really, really reliable information haven't said anything about a PlayStation marketing deal for GTA 6. I think it's been a lot of I've heards, just a lot of, rumor. A lot of rumor. Which a lot of rumors can lead to, a lot of smoke can mean fire. But when I don't see Tom Henderson reporting on it, when I don't see Tom Warren or Jason Schreier, these guys tend to have, I think, pretty reliable inside info. So if Tommy Hendy and Schreier and even Warren from The Verge, if none of them are saying it, I'm like, well, let's wait. Or Xstasis. Xstasis has become very reliable. Xstasis now works for Insider Gaming. I think if none of those gentlemen are saying it, it's like, I'd wait. This could be pure speculation or rumor. GTA 6 best on the Pro? Probably. I think that's a safe bet. GTA 6 is going to land on Series S, Series X, PS5, PS5 Pro. That's kind of the spectrum of performance and power from the strongest to the weakest. So yeah, it will probably be the best on the Pro. We have no idea what performance will be like though until it comes out on PC. And even then, it'll only be the best on PCs capable of really pushing things. You know, if you're on a 5 or 6 year old rig like me, probably not. My rig cannot keep up with, like, if I tried to run Horizon Forbidden West on my 2080 Ti and I tried to make it match my Pro, I think it'd be tough. I think it could get close, but I don't think the frames would be as consistent. Those people don't count. Oh, the vast majority, not the vast, the majority of PC users, yeah, they don't count. You have a new rig you don't use for gaming, you weirdo. Yeah, it's right. It's sitting right there. Here, let me. You know what it's also doing, Zuby? It's holding this camera up. It's good. Good little computer here. Good little computer. Holding up my camera and providing this stream to you. I have a rig. I have a PC that's probably stronger than pretty much most of the PC Master Race guys that hate me in my comments. It's like, I could play games at better performance than you on my streaming rig, but I don't care. Oh, here we go. Ben Harding with a £5 says, looking back at your live streams, you were to talk about the Xbox layoffs the same day back in September. Why not the same day for PlayStation? They've not been confirmed. No numbers have been confirmed. My sources at SIE indicate that they're not layoffs. They could be the dissolvement of teams. And Xbox laid off like thousands of people at ABK specifically as a result of a merger. So if you can't see the categorical difference there, I don't know. Make sure this goes on Twitter. Make sure to false frame it and see if you can get Paris Lily to signal boost it. How long have you been here? Oh, okay, it's your first day. This will be the most competitive year we've seen in years for Game of the Year at the Game Awards this December. Only 6 slots are available for games this year. Some games won't make the cut. I think 3 slots are already claimed. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monhun Wilds, and Split Fiction just claimed 3. I think they just claimed 3. Nintendo will probably claim 1. That's 4. I think one of the PlayStation games will end up there. Either Yote, Death Stranding 2, probably not Lost Soul aside. Death Stranding 2 and Yote could probably end up there. That's 5. Doom could take another one. That's 6. I mean, it's this year could be expanded for noms. They might have to expand it to like 8. They might have to expand it to like 8. I want the problem of good games missing out on nominations. Yeah, like I'm down with that. I'm down with saying it was so competitive this year that certain games didn't even make it that probably should have. We streamed Death Stranding 2. Oh, the panel. March 9th at 5 p.m. Eastern. What day is the 9th? A Sunday? Maybe. I'm answering you like I answer my kids. Like, no, maybe. I don't know. It's a Sunday. Yeah, it's a Sunday. You think this year will be more competitive than last year? I missed part of the convo. I got to finish Lies of P, and the DLC looks good. I know. It's like Hogwarts Legacy got snubbed and robbed. Hogwarts Legacy deserved noms for some things for sure. Art direction, my kids are playing it. Every time I watch them play, I'm really impressed. Like, they just did such a good job. Especially if you're like reading the books and actively watching the movies like we are. It's like, holy moly, this game did such an excellent job. It really, really did. Monster Hunter is the funnest game I've played in a while, but it looks like poo-poo. It really does. It really does. It looks bad. Satisfactory? Yeah, dude. I'd say having so many amazing games come out that some of them can't get nominations is a good problem to have. Oh, for sure. That's what we're saying. Like, that's an excellent problem to have. I'm probably going to have to split Fiction for now. Already playing Sniper, Elite, Avowed, Civ 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Split Fiction is so good. It really is. We finally got to a section that I didn't enjoy that much last night. There's a section where, like, you're doing pinball, and I was like, yeah, it got better at the end, but the beginning I was like, this is not fun. It was the only time in the game yet I've said that I was like, yeah, but it was really short-lived. It was like a couple of minutes. The same people that are saying gaming is bad this generation are also asking for expanded nominations so more games could be up for Game of the Year. I don't think anybody here is saying that gaming is bad. I think they're saying that gaming is so great that they're going to have to expand it this year to 8. I think they're going to have to expand it to 8 instead of just 6. There's too many games. I think you're going to have too many really, really close ties. I doubt GTA 6 gets a nomination. We've been debating that. We debated that a little bit yesterday. Everybody just assumed that GTA 6 would win this year. I'm like, I would not assume that. I would not assume that. You got to watch out, dude. Sucker Punch and Kojima are not lightweights. They are not lightweights. They bring they bring a lot to the table. They bring a lot to the table, dude. Doom the Dark Ages is coming out this year. That's id Software. Like, what are we talking about? GTA is the front runner? I don't think so. I don't think it's the front runner. I think there's way too much hype around it. I think there will be... You got to remember how this works. We're talking about a jury process, and we're talking about a voting process, and we're talking about a review score average. I think there will be enough review outlets that are more tepid. They'll be like, it was fun. The hype was astronomical, and it just really didn't deliver. I think there'll be enough outlets that kind of lands tepid with it. It only takes a handful of outlets in the jury process and in the review score process to be like, it's fine, 8 out of 10. No, it was good. It kind of disappointed me, though, 7.5. Eugene says GTA can only meet expectations or miss them. That's not a good spot to be in. Yeah, like, I don't know if they can exceed expectations. I think what he's saying is correct. They can meet the expectations. It's such a hyped game. But then if you meet expectations, and listen, I'm not saying this is fair. I'm just saying when the expectations are way up here and you meet them or fall slightly below them, people will be more tepid. They'll be like, they'll give you an 8. They'll give you an 8.5 or a 7.5. You need such consistently good and high marks to get up there and to win. You do. I mean, to land in the high 80s, low 90s, it is really difficult. It's not easy. And Red Dead lost to God of War. I mean, what are we talking about here? I agree 100% that we're only in March. You still have Doom, Expedition 33, GTA 6 if it releases, Mafia: The Old Country, Death Stranding 2, Ghosts of Yotei, Ninja Gaiden 4, Split Fiction, Monster Hunter Wilds, and more. It's just unbelievable. Split Fiction's the front runner. Yeah, here's something that people don't understand. It's why they didn't understand why It Takes Two won. It's why a lot of these people were blindsided by Astrobot winning, okay? People buy into if it's popular and it's almost like the Hollywood level game, it's automatically going to win and be better. People made that mistake with Black Myth Wukong. They're like, it was so popular and it sold so many copies. And I kept telling people, like, no shot. No shot. Its score was way too low comparatively. Not enough people were going to vote for Black Myth Wukong. And I was right. And I said, Erdtree won't win. There'll be enough outlets that say, that's not a game, that's a DLC, I'm not voting for that. I told people, I said, Astrobot will win. It struck a chord with folks. And I'm here to tell you, Split Fiction is hitting that tenor with people. It's hitting that frequency of, this is a video game. It's so fun. And that's what people remember when it's time to vote. They're not going to be like, oh, but this was the biggest and most popular game. You've got to consider the voting process, and you have to consider where scores land. The scores land in a way where it gives you like a barometer of what the industry thinks about a game, and that's who's voting. This isn't golden joystick. This isn't the players voting. When the players vote, you get a bunch of gotchas up there. Like, if you look at the jury process and you look at the previous years, I think GTA 6 has got a hard fight. It's got a very hard fight ahead of itself. It does. It's Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar always delivers. It's 100% the front runner, but there will be other games that could take it. But it's not even out yet. I mean, you got to understand something. They're going up against just. I think they're going up against heavy hitters. You got to understand. Split Fiction just stepped in the room and said, "I'm one of the heavy hitters. Like you got to match this level of reception if you want to win." Industry isn't growing. Industry's about to be bonkers this year. That's what I'm saying, Game Logic. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be insane. It's March, and we've already got games that are going to make it ridiculously difficult for other games to get Game of the Year. Nominations, let alone to win. Bangers left and right. New hardware, new PC parts across the board. Crazy. Yeah. What's the point of having this high-end hardware and nothing plays good on them, and it's always the port, not the PC gaming community? I mean, I would not want to be a PC gamer right now. I'd be frustrated as frick. How much I care about performance and optimization, I would be so irritated with the way games have been landing over there. Spider-Man 2, Jedi Survivor is still not in a good state, and now you got Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh my gosh, I'd be freaking livid. I'm so glad that's not where I play. That's why they're in my Monhun comments, seething and mauling and raging. I would not. Yeah, I'm glad that's not where I play my games. I have plenty to play. I'm fine waiting for these games to get their crap together. Yeah, if you have a backlog, it's probably not too bad for sure. For sure. But I'd be irritated. I'd be super irritated trying to dive into something like Spider-Man 2 or Monhun Wilds, and they're running the way they're running. Honestly, Jedi Survivor isn't that bad on PC. Sure, it stutters a bit, but after a while, it's definitely okay. It's just traversal, which is all UE4 games, sadly. That is not a ringing endorsement. I'm just fine PC only, says Game Logic. There's more going on in PC gaming than just what's on the front page of Metacritic, just saying. I would love to have a box for my living room that was like a console, because there are games like Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, and there are games on my wish list. Oh man, there's just so many. There are so many games that I'd be playing right there in my living room. There's so many little co-op games as well. Like, there's all these little co-op games that I would love to just try out in my living room, It's just I don't like doing it. I don't like messing with the PC in the living room. It's a pain in the butt. Guys, if you haven't done so already, we're about an hour and a half into the stream, man. Make sure you're pressing that like button. Thanks for a strong turnout today. Gaming news was a little slow. It was a little slow. Wait for the Franken Xbox. Yeah, it could. I kept telling people, you give me an Xbox with Steam on it in my living room, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Yeah. Listening to P-Rock last night talk about how it used to be no games around, and they used to wait for E3. And the question would be asking if there's any games going to start hurting the sit. Wait, hang on. How they used to wait for E3. question should be asking is there too many games that it's going to start hurting the sales of AAA? Saturation can certainly play a part in demand. Like if there's so many games. I've talked about this before when you watch a showcase and there's like 30 announcements and you get to the end of the showcase and you're like, I don't even remember all the things announced. That can actually happen in the industry as well, because it's like you go to buy something and you're like, well, I'm on a budget right now. I can only buy 1 or 2 games this quarter. Let's just say you kind of budget, and for the quarter or for the first half of the year, you can buy like 1 or 2 games. Well, what are you going to buy? There's so many games coming out. It's like every time I turn around, there's something coming out. Are you going to get Split Fiction? Did you get Avowed? Did you get Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Did you get Monster Hunter Wilds? AC Shadows is almost here, GTA 6 trailer 1 released 1 year and 3 months ago today. Yeah, I don't think we're getting the trailer until... I think GTA 6 is going to make their decision in April, and then if they're coming this year, marketing will spin up in May. That's what I've been saying. It's why I'm probably not going to do a trailer waiting room anymore unless we get really concrete info from like a really reliable source. There's too many games now, more than the market can possibly support, for sure. The breakout titles are probably breathing a sigh of relief, Probably breathing a sigh of relief. They haven't emailed me yet. Only 4% of the market buys more than 1 game a month, and an additional 12% buy 1 game a month. Piscatella's figures on the market. Did you ever try the Avatar game? It was very fun. I have a review of it on the channel. It's more like a first impressions video, because the farther I played, I just didn't like it. I thought maybe I could try it co-op with Madam, but the more I thought about that open world and the hunting and stuff, the more I was like, yeah, I don't want to play that. I just don't want to. Lost Soul Aside looks ridiculous. Yeah, I think Lost Soul Aside looks good. I do. I think it looks good. I don't think all 3 of those games have the spot locked up yet. Things in the high 80s or low 90s aren't guaranteed. We have to consider this didn't get a nom. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is not in the same category, though. Like Monhun Wilds and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction, they got such like broad praise. I feel like the Like a Dragon games are more in like a niche comparatively. Like the quantity of reviews, you're right. It had like 150. It had like 150 something reviews. But I don't know. You could be right about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'll give you that one. That one may not have enough reviews, and it may not have vibed with enough people because of the density and the challenge and like the combat sometimes people don't like. But I definitely think that like Split Fiction and Monhun Wilds locked it up. I don't think you can... I don't know. Those are really, really high scores. Those are tough to compete with. And they're mega popular. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like Monhun gets in because of the popularity. Like, so many people reviewed it and so many people are playing it and liking it. I think that plays a role in the jury process. Your odds increase of people wanting to vote for it. Popularity doesn't determine, but it helps, I think. I think it helps indicate, or it helps you know that a ton of people are going to vote for it. Split Fiction, you're not going to do like groundswell win of like, oh, so many people liked it. Split Fiction's more in the Astrobot It Takes Two category where the gaming press just loves it. It's just got that media darling. It's got like the media darling treatment. People are just like, this is so great. This is so fun. You know, that it probably stands to get up there again. The number of reviews don't matter if they're not in the jury. This is true. Monster Hunter should be disqualified for Game of the Year. It would be kind of a bummer to see it nominated for Game of the Year given the state of the optimization, for sure. For sure. It's always tough because, like, I feel bad for the developers who had the vision and the ideas and made a great game, right? The animation sets, the weapons, the monsters, but then it's just, the optimization, it like shrouds and I don't know. It's almost like it gets in the way, and that's what people and I focused on it, and I think it's a bummer, but it's like you have to call a spade a spade. You have to be like, listen, this game is not. It just did not ship at the quality that we should accept. We shouldn't accept this. We should be highly critical of this. I keep considering getting Wilds despite the performance constraints. I have the base PS5 and a 3090 PC, so I really don't know where to buy it. Performance on both is poor. Mash says, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not my type of game, I think. I don't find it appealing, but I'm glad those that do are liking it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction are not games I'll ever buy, but I don't discredit their quality, right? TRM with a VIP 35-month renewal, so close to 3 years. Well, we still can't pre-order Split Fiction on the PlayStation Store. Did you hear anything about that? Can't find out why. It's probably because, it might be because they're not doing any pre-order bonuses, and that's an Agent of Chaos that pushes us to 201. Guys, we are 8 members away from a huge milestone on the channel. If you pick VIP or Member Plus, you can help add to that. So consider upgrading or signing up brand new. Super close to that milestone. A lot of people helping with that today, both signing up brand new and jumping in. It's still a freaking great time to play. Optimization be damned. I had to turn down a few notches in the options to get an easy 80 FPS in the benchmark tool. Juderino says, if anybody wants somebody to play Split Fiction with, let me know. I don't have any friends. Please be my friend. Guys, I'm telling you, become a member and get in the Discord. Become a member and get in the Discord. Like, there are people to play with in there. If you've never supported a channel directly before, now's a great time to try. Make sure you pick Member Plus. It's $6, and you're good to go. You're good to go. Yeah, the new poster for Andor Season 2 looks so stinking good. It looks so good. I need perfect conditions to engage with any live service game. If they keep making these fancy co-op games, I'm going to have to go and get a darn girlfriend again. What a pain. Right? You're going to have to. Let's take some questions here. This is a great reason to become a member as well. You can have your question featured. If Xbox is making new console, does that mean they are dropping parity for the S, which is their biggest install base? Yeah, I don't know. I think they've already dropped parity for the S. They're not making anybody do it anymore. I mean, they might do it for their own games, but even that's probably limited. What are the member perks? So for $6 a month, you get into morning coffee, which is how we start our day. So you don't have to wait for my public live stream. You can come hang out in morning coffee. It's like an hour, and we just kind of shoot the bull. It's very laid back. It can get spicy and debate, and it's fun. And then you obviously get the badge and the emotes and chat. And you can have your question featured like this. You can always ask questions, but you can't use this tool if you're not a member. You get into our Discord, which is where you can access the live audio of this broadcast if you don't want to watch the video. I'm on the stage in Discord right now. You get access to all the rooms in there if you want to team up and play with people. You also get access to the Green Room, which is a daily segment where we do like behind-the-scenes planning of the show. There are Friday night streams with my wife. That's what this incentive is for, by the way. I'm going to let you guys get multiple evening streams this week if we can hit stretch goals every day. And so you get access to that as well. So for $6 a month, you basically just you get an entire second half of the channel. Pronator says it's worth it just for the morning coffee. Yeah, people really like the morning coffee segment. That's a segment Monday through Friday. So for literally the cost of a cup of coffee for $6 a month, you get basically a second channel. Like, there's just so much other content I do, especially if you really like live discussion. I know that YouTube culture is very much not about this. People hate that I have member tiers and member goals and try to foster a user base that supports me, but I'm not making any friends in the industry. I'm not. I'm not going to be getting invited to events and codes and included, right? I'm probably blacklisted once again on many lists. I'm going to get excluded. And a really great way to support people who get treated that way is to have a support base of people who voluntarily support the channel and the content, right? There's a lot of people who have been able to do this with Patreon and other platforms. They're able to basically garner direct support, so they never have to worry about being included or on the good lists or, you know, sponsorships and codes. Like, I'm not making friends on the Xbox side. I'm not making friends on the PlayStation side. I'm pretty scathing in my criticism of both companies, and I'm probably just not going to get those doors to open. He's talking about Colin. Yeah, Colin's somebody that comes to mind that, like, you get blacklisted and mistreated. Well, that certainly happened to me. It happened 5 years ago, and it's happening again. Just getting targeted and cut bait and go third party, plus the boutique hardware. Oh, golly. Did we just disconnect and reconnect? We did. Huge blip. Yeah, we just disconnected and reconnected. You guys will have to refresh. Mash says it's happening. Here's the thing. That really, really tends to hurt viewership. So it'll surge up. Our view count will look fake. It'll surge up and then surge back down, and that's really devastating to the stream. So make sure you guys are pressing like, renewing your membership, and gifting. I'm gonna read Game Logic super chat again because it got interrupted. Game Logic with $20 said, "My own recommendation has been that Xbox cut bait on the Series S community. Those low ARPU customers have not helped float the boat. Make the costlier Xbox Mini PC, cut bait, and go third party plus a boutique of hardware." I actually think they kind of need to do that. Yeah. I think they kind of need to do that. I was just about to get it gifted and that happened. Just kidding. Yeah. I do. I think they just need to cut bait on the Series S. I don't have any pushback on that at all. It is just, man, oh man, it's been a problem. Like, did you guys see that? And there it is, DE with a member plus. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it very, very much. That adds 2 to the total. Oh my gosh, we're probably even closer. I think you just set a new record on my channel, D. I think you just set a new record. Oh, I think that means we're like 7 away. Hold the line, hold it. That's right. There'll be blips and audio blips. You guys will just have to refresh. Now is a great time to smash like, hit the $sign, renew your memberships, gift memberships. It really, really helps turn the numbers around because we're about to get really, really beat up by that. Yes, we're at 593. We're 7 away. That's a new record for the channel. That is a new record for the channel. We are at 593 on Member Plus and above. We need 7 people to sign up brand new at Member Plus or to upgrade. Welcome in, D. I'm not here to make friends. Well, I'm all about being cordial. I'm all about being cordial and friendly and respectful, but I'm not making friends. Like, I'm saying what I think, you know, I'm holding to my opinions and what I believe, and people don't like it. And a 10 bomb from Game Logic coming in today, huge, with support for the channel. Super chats. And now Gifted's his own new member. He's saying, get involved, boys. Get involved. I genuinely mean that. I genuinely mean that, like, one of the key ways I'm able to do what I do is people jumping in and supporting the channel directly. We are not getting sponsorships. I'm not getting invites. I am a blacklisted content creator. It's just the facts. 2 singles coming in from Stone Spire. We're now a 10 bomb away from me owing you guys another one, 225. Keep pushing it. You guys are amazing. If you get a gifted membership as well, you can upgrade for $1. You do not have to like sign all the way up. I swear every time I hear you say Game Logic, I'm listening and I hear Gay Logic. Trying to learn how to get more members. Any advice? You have to, I feel that it's really difficult. You have to offer content that they can only get, but you have to make sure it's content that they want. Like, I'll give you an example. Lorcan, Adrian with 12 months. That's a whole year. That adds to the total. Thank you so much. So, my stream does not respond to uploaded content. They don't. So I have to do live content incentives. Like, this is an incentive I know they love. The core audience, the people that really support, they love the idea of my wife and I doing a surprise evening stream tonight and playing Split Fiction. Like, this is what they respond to. They do not respond to upload. Like, if I did like a members only upload, they don't care. So you've got to figure out what they like and give it to them. Be like, okay, well, if we hit this, if we hit this goal, I'll do this. If we hit this goal, I'll do that. I can't make fun of an upload's hair. That's right. So member only live content, yeah, that probably would work better. It depends on your people, though. It depends on your people, what your core people want. I mean, it's really, really difficult. Like, YouTube is not a culture where people do that. They don't like to do that. Game Logic says, good time hanging out. Say Shibby Chat, I gotta bounce. Yo, thank you so much again, Game Logic, for the tweet, the support, both. Honestly, the monetary support means a lot, but like actual vocal support, like some of y'all have given me on Twitter, that also means a lot. So I appreciate it. You didn't speak about me specifically, but ADR Zone with the 5 bomb gets us even closer. 221. Thank you so much. Oops, 221. Yeah, I was just going to talk about that, FCat, because Game Logic super chatted and said, like, they should just cut Series S. Yeah, another game got delayed. Another game from another Xbox showcase and another Xbox roadmap got delayed. On console. Fragpunk is coming to PC early access and not to console. And it's so hard for me to not be like, probably the Series S. I don't know what to tell you. The pattern over there is roadmap of games that don't show up on time. Like, I don't know what to say. Wait. Neil Druckmann on the possibility of The Last of Us Part 3. I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more of The Last of Us. This could be it. That feels like an old story. Is that an old clip or quote? I know they're making a third one. They confirmed they're making a third one. Mac Attack with the Member Plus gets us to 222. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. The third game should be the last. Is that what he means? Like, no more after the third game? They're making that headline read like he's saying there's not going to be a third one. They basically confirmed they're moving to initiating the beginning of the project. I just checked back in EA on console. Isn't even a thing, is it? I'm not sure what you're saying. EA is on consoles? You talking about EA Play? It is. I'm not ruling out the GTA 6 for Game of the Year, says Christopher Burnett. GTA 5 and 4 are both up there, top 10 highest rated games of all time on Metacritic. And GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas all scored 93. I'm betting GTA 6 scores a 95 minimum. I don't know. I think that the expectations are crushing. That's going to be, they got a lot riding on the game's shoulders. Oh, early access. I thought he was saying EA. Thanks for the great tabloid. Thank you so much for 10 months, Roger, and that bumps the line to 223. Thank you, everybody, for celebrating your renewals, for gifts, for super chats. Y'all are the best. I'm betting 96. Dear Lord. It's almost impossible to keep a score that high. I'm telling you, it only takes a couple of outlets to pull a score like that down. If Wukong ended up there with an 81, then GTA will get a nom. To me, I'm not necessarily saying it won't get a nom. I'm saying I don't think it's going to be an easy win. I think a bunch of people think it's just an easy win, like GTA 6 is going to automatically win, and I'm like, I wouldn't place that bet if I were you. I wouldn't place that bet if I were you. I could see it getting the nom. I think it's probably going to be a great game. But that competition is thick this year. From the article, there's a long-whispered possibility of The Last of Us Part 3. He says, I was waiting for this question. He sighed, and he brings up the prospect of the third game. I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more of The Last of Us. This could be it. Is he saying this could be it as in this Part 3 could be it? Hey, it's Ollie with 17 months. GTA Online, what do you bet it will be both cities? I don't have any way to know. Gaming is stacked this year. It's too stacked. It's March 5th. And we've got Split Fiction, Monhunt Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, all up there gunning for Game of the Year. All of them. It's March 5th. Like we're not even through the first quarter of the year yet. And we're just swimming in games. If the bet is GTA or the field, I'm taking the field. I think the biggest challenge for GTA 6 is going to be the expectations. I mean it. I think it's the expectations. I think there's so many high expectations for the game. It could severely make it difficult to score well. I'm not saying it'll score bad. I'm just saying those 90s you guys are predicting, that's ridiculously hard to maintain. And a single gifted comes in from Mr. Grimm. He might be single walking this to 225. I'll owe you guys another 5 members. Thank you very much, Mr. Grimm. I agree, Lono. It's going to be way overhyped and not meet expectations. Think of it this way. I want you to think about it this way. How many outlets? Just do a thought experiment with me. How many of the gaming outlets out there that review games and can vote in the jury process are going to play GTA 6 and say, yeah, it wasn't as good as I expected. It's good, but it wasn't as good as I expected. I think there are a lot of outlets that are just going to say that. I just think the expectations are too high. I'm not saying that's fair. I'm saying you get 150 reviews. You only need about 10 to 20 of them to be tepid, and your score drops like a rock. It's like 90, 87, 86. It's just go boom, 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 boom. It's really hard to hold on to upper 80s, low 90s. It's tough. A handful of outlets are like, hey. I expect GTA 6 to be in the first 100, from all outlets. Then again, I thought Star Wars Outlaws would be Game of the Year nomination. Maybe I slightly over-expect. I remember that, MASH. Didn't we have a standing bet about Star Wars Outlaws? I was like, there's no way it gets a nom. Like, looking at the trailers, I could just tell. That's all he says. The next part is Mason talking. I mean, if they don't do a Last of Us Part 3, I will be severely shocked. There's no way it's not at least getting a nom. I think it gets a nom trill. I think what I'm saying is that it doesn't take much to pull the score down, which means it won't take much for it to not win. Do you know what I'm saying? It won't take much. It's shaky. It's really shaky. You need basically everybody saying your game is the best. Like, you need an incredible score. You need everybody voting for you in the jury process. You're going up against Split Fiction, Monhunt Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You're going up against Doom the Dark Ages, Mafia the Old Country. You got surprise hits that could break out and really steal the show, like Expedition 33, Hell Is Us. I'm telling you, you got to watch out. There are so many titles. It's going to be hard, too, I think, for the outlets to not feel slightly overwhelmed when it comes time to vote. It's like, just because you're a GTA 6 fan doesn't guarantee you the win. Oh, just because you're GTA 6 doesn't guarantee you the win. Right. For Sony gamers, you're even getting Indiana Jones, Forza Horizon 5. That's true. There's just a lot. I mean, the calendar's busting at the seams. Don't forget, Sucker Punch brings the heat. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, that Metacritic is Game of the Year worthy. Go look at the Metacritic score for Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. That game got far better treatment when it was on a next-gen console with some enhancements. So Ghost of Yote's in there. You got to watch out. Ghost of Yote sneak out of the shadows and pull a 92. Boom. You're like, oh my gosh. Like Death Stranding 2. You want to act like Kojima? Kojima's not a heavy hitter. He'll walk out and pull a 91 or a 92 as well. The year is stacked. It's so stacked, I keep forgetting to name certain games. I just forgot about Yote and Death Stranding. They're definitely in the mix. They're in the mix. The score alone won't mean it gets the win. Red Dead and GTA both got 97s on Metacritic, but they lost to games with slightly lower scores. Ghost of Yote Pro Enhanced going to look fire. Kojima got a nom for Death Stranding 1 despite it not scoring well because the jury will love him. Yeah. It's seriously insane how many games are coming this year, especially if you're into Souls. Oh, yeah. If you like games, as Dunkey said, if you like games with swords, where you hit the bad guys with swords, this is the year for you. Every game. You know? Yeah, Light No Fire? I mean, oh my gosh. If Light No Fire comes this year, I think the year's going to explode. It can't hold it. It'll be like, you know? Hold on tight. Hold on tight. Mafia the Old Country doesn't have a release date. It has a release window, and then all the trailer says is summer. So... yeah. You don't think Rockstar cares about the trophy? I think they would like to get the trophy. Yeah. I think they would like to get the trophy. I don't know. Game of the Year award's overrated. Let's talk about music. Game of the Year award, you don't discount it. Astrobot jumped from like 8th on the charts on PlayStation to 5th, and then it held that 5th position in January as well. Getting that Game of the Year award in December really, really helped it. It did. And no joke. It did. Guys, let's try to scramble for 400 likes. We're 2 hours into the broadcast, and we do have a standing incentive each day this week. If we hit what we're considering like a daily stretch goal, we'll do a stream for y'all in the evening. You only ever get streams from me and Madam on Friday nights, all right? But we're wanting to play through Split Fiction with you guys, so we're running this incentive today. That's why it says 350 instead of 500. Rockstar is like, you can have the Game of the Year. We have the Game of the Generation. GTA Online making a few million a day. They're like, LOL, bet they don't care about that trophy at all. Knowing the impact of commercial sales that it could have, winning that award in December right before the holidays, I don't agree. I think even a game the size of GTA knows that that is impactful. They know that that's impactful. Like, it will 100%, going into the holidays, being able to walk up on stage and claim GTA 6 Game of the Year 100% would impact their fiscal year. They would make a ton more sales that holiday. I'm not saying not winning would hurt it. I'm saying winning helps. Like, why would you not care about that? The devs would definitely care to see their work recognized that by industry peers. They don't need it, but see that you're swinging and missing. I'm not saying they need it. I'm saying they would likely be very excited to get it. Commercially, it would help, and they'd always be able to claim GTA 6 Game of the Year winner 2025. Like, that's, I don't know, man. To act like studios don't care about winning, even if you're that size, I think winning is really, really nice. They don't need it. They're not going to be angry if they don't. I'm just saying, if they do, They wouldn't shrug, is what I'm saying. They wouldn't be like, yeah, we don't care. Rockstar the Brass, I bet they laugh at the Game of the Year winner all the way to the bank and back. But you're just shadowboxing. They would laugh all the way to the bank if they won. They would look at the revenue surge and the sales surge in December and say, that was great. Adjust the marketing, Johnson. We just won Game of the Year. We can walk into 2026 and boast about being the Game of the Year. They would 100% be like, that's great. That gives us more money. GTA won't need a sales surge. Why do you guys keep using the word need? Am I not speaking clearly? They don't need it. But to act like they wouldn't celebrate it and be pumped and get more money. You guys are talking about executives. You know that, right? They would be like, oh, it's no big deal. Just the biggest and most watched gaming event of the year, crowning us as Game of the Year and causing a surge of sales and us getting more money. We don't care about that. We're GTA 6 after all. That's ludicrous. They would be thrilled. They would be thrilled. How much money did they make? Do you know what companies like more than a lot of money? They like more money. They like more money. What are we even talking about? You guys think that they're so cocky and drunk on hubris that they wouldn't be like, oh, we just got celebrated at the most watched gaming event of the year, something that rivals Super Bowl viewership, and you're going to be like, yeah, we don't really care. You know, free marketing, surge of sales, more revenue for our fiscal calendar, but you know, what are we talking about? You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. I'm not saying that they're wringing their hands over it and hoping they win. But if they won, they wouldn't be apathetic. They would be absolutely thrilled. That's jet fuel in the tank in December. Eugene says, this is the dumbest combo we've ever had. You guys are on a wavelength. You're on a wavelength. GTA 6 Trailer 2 will pull higher numbers than the TGAs this year. Right, but you got to understand the global reach of the Game Awards, the viewership, even they're streaming on Bilibili now, so they get viewed in the Chinese market. You got to understand, Jeff Keighley cracks into so many markets that trailer doesn't. I mean, maybe they put the trailer on Bilibili. I don't know. I'm telling you, you guys keep saying they don't need it. You are shadowboxing and straw manning. You keep saying it. They don't need marketing. They don't need it. I never said that they need it. You're literally conceding the argument by arguing with somebody who's not here. If there's someone in the room talking and saying that they need it, you're arguing with them, not me. You're 100% shadowboxing. It's like, I'm saying they would be excited. They would not be apathetic and shrugged-shouldered about winning Game of the Year. Let me have my fun. But you're not the only one. Other people are in chat saying they don't need it. They don't need the marketing. I've never said they need it. Can you imagine being the biggest game of the year and getting free marketing, free press, free surge of sales, and being like, yeah, we don't really care? That is idiotic to even say that's what they would, that's how they would posture. Yeah, we don't care. Yeah, it's fine. Global viewership that rivals the Super Bowl. Just celebrate our game as Game of the Year, and it'll cause a surge of sales and revenue in the holidays. Yeah, we don't care. Come on, that's boneheaded. Nobody would react that way. They'd be popping champagne and be like, we did it. We beat one of the toughest years to beat, if we're honest. Like, and look what it's going to do for our money. I struggle to name any dev that would shrug at a Game of the Year win, but I'd almost bet the farm against GTA winning. It's a plus if they win, but they're not losing any sleep. But again, you're arguing with somebody who isn't here. I've not once said, I've said this so many times, it feels like I'm dealing with Twitter people right now. Like, they're not wringing their hands and like biting their nails. I really hope we win. They're not doing that, for sure. They're not like, oh yeah, our game's success is riding on winning this. But when your trajectory and your jet's flying like this, and you go bink and you get pushed up by something like this, buddy, you would throw confetti. You would throw confetti, you'd be like, holy crap. You talk about momentum. I mean, I look at trajectories on my videos, and whenever my video goes like this, I'm not like, I get a lot of views every day. You're making it seem like they would really care about winning? Because they would! Executives care about making as much money as possible. And if you suddenly got that B12 injection in the arm at the end of the year, boom! GTA 6 gets even more sales, more recognition, more marketing, viewed in markets that the trailer might not have great viewership in. I don't know. I don't know if the GTA 6 trailer is viewable in China right now. The Game Awards streams in China. I'm serious. You have to understand the impact that can have on your game. You're like, oh, but they're so big it doesn't matter. Again, executives like something more than a lot of money, and it's more money. GTA 5 literally made all the money and didn't win Game of the Year. I cannot believe how bad the argumentation is today. Good golly, we're in bad shape all of a sudden. What is happening? GTA 5 would have made more money if it won Game of the Year. It causes a surge of interest, a surge of sales. Executives would have celebrated winning. They'd be like, this is fantastic. We're going to make more money. Like, being like, well, they made a ton of money and they didn't win, so they wouldn't care. Oh, that logic's bad. That logic's so bad. That's Swiss cheese logic. It's got so many holes in it. What are we saying? It's not hard to understand. If they don't win Game of the Year, they'll still make a ton of money. If they win Game of the Year, they're going to make even more. And executives would 100% pour a glass and celebrate that. They would toast and say, we did it. Holy moly, we're going to make more money. They would not shrug at that. There's just no way. Just to clarify, I jumped on this side because I thought they were effing with you. I'm starting to think they're serious. Ah, come on. Wear it. Swiss cheese logic, I like that. I just came up with that. There's so many holes in what you're saying. I don't think people buy shark cards because it won Game of the Year. Yeah, but retail sales of your game is incredible for your profit. You're selling it at $70 a pop. You've got premium editions for $80 and $100. Dear, good golly. Are we that out of tune that we don't think that would absolutely be cause for celebration? And don't act like the developers are that way either. You guys actually think the Rockstar developers wouldn't be thrilled to have their work recognized? Like, they would be so excited. Thousands of people have worked on this game, and to get that award, they would be so happy. You think everybody that works at Rockstar is just like so drunk on their own hubris that they're like, yeah, Game of the Year, who cares? Like, they'd be like, oh my gosh, we got it. Nobody's saying they wouldn't be happy. You guys were saying they wouldn't care. They wouldn't. I think from the bottom of the company all the way to the top. I'm sorry. From the top of the company all the way to the bottom, they'd be really, really excited that they won. Whether you designed a car or hair texture or you're the C-suite, you would be absolutely thrilled. You'd be over the moon. Speaking of moon, Until Dawn remake developer Ballistic Moon effectively closed? Until Dawn remake developer, according to multiple sources, they've been closed. They publicly announced layoffs in September. Roughly 40 employees were let go. In December, however, the company quietly laid off that staff as well. They laid off remaining staff. Sources say that the studio's founders remain, and possibly a handful of employees at most. People are sharing bugs they found in the game to make the team aware, but there's no one working on patch support for the game anymore. The studio has effectively closed, one source said. Strauss-Zelnick is German. They don't get excited. I got news for you. I want it to win now. I want it to win. Do you want to know why? I bet you it would get mentioned on an earnings call. It would get mentioned on an earnings call, and you would all look stupid. I want it to win so that when they walk into 2026 and Strauss-Zelnick is like, and we saw a huge surge of sales and more revenue because we won Game of the Year. Estimates are that it impacted percentage gains by this much. And I'm going to be like, what do y'all say to that? I want them to win because you better believe that would come up in the earnings call. You better believe it. The most watched gaming event of the year just called us the Game of the Year. They would mention it. They would say, yeah, it was great. It's huge impact. The market reach of that event, it's fantastic. We saw an increase in sales in markets where we typically don't sell that well. Lono joined the dark side to prove his point. Speaking of the dark side, what are your thoughts on Star Wars? Who doesn't know about GTA 6 and isn't planning on getting it? So, Vibe, you think that every single gamer everywhere across the entire world is buying GTA 6? Also, consider this. Just consider this. The game is not coming to PC right away. Okay? And we know they like to double dip. We know they like to do that. It seems that Strauss-Zelnick is signaling that the game is going to come to PC, faster than previous games. Okay? Just track with me here. They know there are people that are going to wait. They're going to wait. They're going to hold off. But, buddy, FOMO is very powerful. And you see all your buddies playing and all your friends having a good time. And then you see the game win Game of the Year. And you're like, I can't be missing out on the Game of the Year. I gotta play right now. I'm telling you what, the impact of that is something very much that Take-Two would celebrate on an earnings call. They would celebrate it internally. 100% would be something that they would be glad that happened. They would be excited. They would not be shrug-shouldered about it. Not at all. Future game show. Oh, they're doing a future game show on March 20th. That's kind of a tough game to do a show because we'll probably be playing. Well, no. When's the earliest you can play AC Shadows? Nobody's saying they wouldn't celebrate that. I'm not retreading this argument with you guys. You guys made it very clear that they wouldn't care and that it wouldn't matter to them. And not retreading it. How many patches do you predict GTA 6 will have? I'm not buying it day one. Game of that scope, there will 100% be a day one patch. There will be. But as far as patches after that, there's not really a good way to speculate. There isn't. It's like, I don't know. Games like that, I mean, they tend to patch and patch and patch again. They tend to patch for the entire, sometimes for the entirety of the life of the game, My point is, I don't think they would lose sleep if they didn't win. I wasn't talking about that. I making that point wasn't applicable to what I said. I never said they would lose sleep. Like, they'd be upset and bummed if they didn't win. Also, it's a large company, so a lot of the developers probably would be pretty bummed that they worked on the game this long and, got a lot of prestige. and a lot of excitement and a lot of support, and then to not win, I bet you some devs would be pretty upset. Like, you know, I think devs, I don't know, I think they look forward to stuff like that. I think they do. Very rarely do you get a Game of the Year sweep like what happened with Astrobot. I heard people cried last year. Oh my gosh. All right, listen, chat. Listen. I want to give you the chance to hit the goal. So we're going to keep going. Okay, we're going to keep going. I do want to try to hit 400 likes. That will be really helpful to this stream later, especially. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, do that for me. We only need about 40 likes. If you haven't celebrated your membership, you could also upgrade. Upgrading counts. We're literally a single member away from me owing you guys more members. But if you hit the big goal today, we're trying to do stretch goals every day. We'll do a stream tonight with Split Fiction with you guys. All right, here's the deal. We're also the closest we've ever been to the Member Plus goal. So if you guys are like, man, I've been here a while, I've been on Gifted, or man, I've been here a while and I like this show, consider supporting with the Member Plus, either upgrade or brand new membership. We are 7. We are in the low single digits. We need 7 people to do that, to hit that milestone. We have been trying to get to 600 people at Member Plus and above for like 6 months. It is like trying to get blood from a stone. Like, I know the YouTube culture is just not about it, but we are trying to foster something here. And when you guys get involved, it means a lot. And Alex is like, let's do it. Let's land the 225. He gifts a member. When you guys get gifted a membership, try it out for a month. Get in the Discord. Get to know the community. Come to, come to some morning coffees. Come to some Friday nights with Madam and me. And if you like it, get involved. And $6 a month is a huge help to what we do here. Can I push this in? Oh, I can. All right, I owe you guys 5. I'm going to do it now. And here's what we're going to do. Usually around now, I'd be ending, but we're just going to keep going. It's like 1 in the afternoon. We're going to keep going, but I am going to have to take a quick break. All right, there's the 5 that I owe you. I wasn't sure if it was going out. I'm going to hit some ads, and I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. When I get back, we can keep the conversation going. You guys can obviously submit questions. We've got some questions already submitted by members, okay? I'll be right back. I'm back. Sorry. Kiddos were showing me what they were working on. My daughter had her American Girl doll at the spa. She had like a towel on her face and was like braiding her hair. You're not a fan of the latest God of War combat? You like the old school hack and slash? Yo, what's good, Feed Guide? Feed's in the chat. Be a good time to scramble. Hit that goal for the day. Let's get him in here. Also, if you haven't hit like yet, man, we need 30 more. Likes have been slacking today for some reason. I don't know if it's because of YouTube acting weird. Petrov did submit a question here. What do you think about the next Steam box? I mean, listen, I could see them trying it again, but again, I'm just a curious. I don't exactly know what I think, because it's like, if Xbox does what they're doing, well, what we think they might be doing, like the rumors or whatever. American Girl, I knew you were rich. We did it for her last year when we were down there in Nashville, because they got the store there. So, yeah. I just don't know. I actually would love it. I would love like a plug and play, relatively powerful device for my living room. They could just let me play those Steam games. There are so many little indies that crop up, so many little games that crop up that would be super fun to just easily play in my living room. But I don't know. We'll see if they do it. I like kind of buying everything. I like having everything just so that I can kind of experiment and test and try things out. I'm not big on gaming handhelds just yet because performance isn't there. But once gaming handhelds can consistently give me 1080 60 and anything I throw at it, which I think we're going to see breakthroughs with frame gen and upscaling to allow for that. I would be more inclined to buy a gaming handheld that can do that. That was one of the reasons why the Portal was an easy sell for me. $200, and I got something that can remote play games and it runs them at 1080 60. I don't have high expectations of a handheld. I have what I feel like are pretty meager expectations, but the power just isn't there yet. So, and if you put a Steam box in my living room, I would buy it and probably use it. I think the only thing I don't like that they do is if I buy a co-op game, like an online co-op game through Family Share, I can't play that with my wife. I have to buy it twice. So if I had there's a lot of games that, we could play and enjoy, both her as well as my kiddos, but a lot of them are not local. So if I bought 2 Steam boxes and wanted to use it in that way, that's not an option. I think they should make an exception. I think they should on family sharing. Anything that's online co-op, as soon as it's marked with online co-op, they should make an exception on family sharing, and we should be able to play it at the same time. But a lot of Steam games are meant for mouse and keyboard. A huge portion of the games I've played or tested all have they all work with controllers. What am I expecting from the Switch 2? I mean, I'm hoping that the Switch 2 can give me 60. If it can give me 60. Because I don't think their graphical fidelity is what I go to them for. Like, I don't need the next Zelda, Mario Kart, or, that Metroid game. I don't need that game to blow my mind graphically. I need it to look good, and then, give me 60, and I'll be happy. That's the main thing that kept me away from Nintendo, like, this gen, like, as far as, like, really committing. Like, I beat Breath of the Wild, but even that one was tough. I actually beat that when I was on vacation once, like, because I had it with me, portable, and I was bored. And then Tears of the Kingdom, I didn't get very far in Tears of the Kingdom at all, and I know it's a fantastic game. So, PS3 has a system software update. Stop the show! We got a question here from Brett. When should we expect the IGN article saying the Series X and S is in its latter stages? Yeah, I don't know. They're not really in the business of misquoting Microsoft. They like to do that to Sony. So I don't know. If Xbox does come out with a console hybrid PC, would you say that's a market disruptor, blending home console and PC? I don't think it would disrupt the market because here's why. You've got your PC gamers, okay? That market is pretty much set on, at some level, they want to early adopt. Whether or not you wait a year or you're there day one, right? There's that group within PC gaming. And all around that hemisphere of people are people that are like, they like their PC, they've invested, they've got RGB or a nice setup, a nice desk, they got this, they've invested. I don't think a console PC hybrid appeals to them. Not in the way that it would be like disruptive. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this. Now, there's probably a percentage of them that would be like, hey, that's pretty exciting. Maybe they're on a PC that's kind of old. They've been wanting to upgrade, and that can kind of hit two birds with one stone, right? So, but I don't know how many of those people within that, the PC audience would be persuaded, especially if they can't do any upgrading to it. If they're kind of locked into whatever the hardware is from moment one. And we don't know what power would be like in something like this, okay? So then let's look at the console people. Well, Xbox is losing. They're getting migration loss to PlayStation. It's pretty obvious that they are. The sales are down very bad. PlayStation's getting new users. PlayStation's hitting new record MAUs. PlayStation is 100% draining users from Xbox, all right? There's also the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out, which would potentially, from what their projections are, it could outpace Switch 1. So that gaming audience, I don't know if a significant portion of that gaming audience is like me and is going to say, oh, that's dope. I'm going to buy that because it kind of lets me do two things. Like, oh, the Game Pass stuff, I can check that, and then I can play Steam games. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I just don't know. Like, I think it will be a product that people will want, but I don't think it will be in such a high level of demand that it'll be market disruptive. Like, oh my gosh. Like when I said that the PS5 Pro would be market disruptive, I never meant from a demand standpoint. I always argued about the developers, right? Now, I know people have probably picked that apart and misrepresented it and make it seem like, oh yeah, he thought it was going to be market disruptive, and it's selling slower than the PS4 Pro did. Whenever I talked about it being market disruptive, I was talking about a land war, right? There's a moment in the movie The Founder where BJ Novak's character says, you're not in the restaurant business, you're in the real estate business. He basically lets him know, like, if you buy all the real estate, you can completely win this fight that you're having with the owners of McDonald's. And so PlayStation and Mark Cerny are basically playing a tactical move by creating hardware that's really, really winsome to developers. It's not a coincidence that they dropped the PS5 Pro in the market, something that, Alex from Digital Foundry said, we don't even need this. We've not even tapped into the full power of the PS5. And yet, developers very quickly lined up to leverage the new tech and the new power. That right there is showing early signs of what I predicted. It's like, you're going to make your platform more desirable than Xbox. And I think Xbox has put that into overdrive when they were like, everything's an Xbox. Everything. TV, Fire Stick, tablet, iPhone. It's all an Xbox. Okay, so let's say you're a third-party publisher and a developer. Do you want to develop a game for not just Series S, not just Series X, but also you want to develop a game that they're going to want to throw on their cloud? Do you want your game experienced that way? Do you want to have to remove features to get it to run on the Series S? Are you okay with your game being put on their cloud services and being experienced in that way? And then on the other side, you've got the PlayStation basically saying, hey, all those tools that you guys like to leverage, all that tech and power that you guys like to leverage, we've given you more of that. Where do you think those developers and publishers are gonna start to have their preferences? Did you guys already talk about Ballistic Moon? I read the press on it that they're apparently shut down. Yeah, they laid off the rest of the staff. They did the Until Dawn remake for Sony. Yes. Thank you for the $5 super chat. We're one super chat away from Confetto. Thank you very much. But they'll make more money if it's everywhere. Yeah. No, you won't. You will not. I don't think so. What is happening in chat? What is going on? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? It took like a 2-minute break. I never understand why so many people are underestimating GTA 6. We've seen 90 seconds of the game. Well, we've seen 90 seconds in engine. We've not even seen gameplay. You know, we've seen more of Ghosts of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. I think Sony learned from the mistakes of the PS3. The PS3 was notoriously difficult to develop for. When Mark Cerny took over designing the PS4, he wanted to be easy to develop for. Right. It's basketball combo. Yeah, it's just really not helpful for you guys to do that, though. Like, I'm not trying to be like dad, but you guys can't do that. You can't just suddenly make chat about that kind of stuff. The AI reads chat, summarizes it, and then categorizes this stream as messed up. It's a gaming news stream, and I got Xbox, Call of Duty, and Gears in the title, and y'all are talking about Spurs in the 90s. Like, that doesn't... We can't do that. We can't do that. And I have no way of participating. Chat's been bad today, so many blips. Yeah, I don't know. Chat's been really, really awful. It's like, it keeps stopping and freezing for me. Thank you, Catwalk, for gifting a member. That's Agent of Chaos. Yeah, we're on one all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, but we are on one. I feel like YouTube's been messing up as well. I'm not really sure what's going on. Yo, thank you so much, Mike on the mic. Working and lurking. Thank you for the 5 spot. There's some confetto for you guys. I owe you a member as well now. That's going to bump it to 227. Let me it's even slow on the gifting. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I really, really don't know what they're doing. But even me gifting that member was kind of weird. It kind of went slow. I will gift a member. There we go. Hello, did I ever share those emails with you? I'm not sure what emails you're talking about, Brab. Not the only one working and lurking? No, I'm not talking about working and lurking like the chat itself. I'm saying not you guys' chat. I'm saying YouTube chat has been acting really weird today. Not you guys. I'm not saying chat as in you. I'm saying YouTube. That's just been very, very bizarre. I'll DM you. Okay. We're always weird. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you guys are always weird. I'm happy to extend and let you guys try to hit this goal to try to secure a stream for tonight. We're doing a fun incentive since Split Fiction came out. So if we end today ahead of pace at 3:50, we'll do a stream in the evening. You can do the same thing on Thursday as well as Friday. My tab keeps crashing, so there's that. Yeah, if your tab keeps crashing, just refresh chat or like toggle from top chat to live chat, and it basically clears your chat, and it should clear the memory and keep it from crashing. That is a huge, huge help. It basically reloads it. Today would be an odd time to suddenly say we're being weird. Right? Like, yeah, chat's being weird. Hang on. I think Stone Spire submitted a question here. What is the next game release that you will be playing for us? I think it's... Yeah, the chat crashing thing's a Chrome thing. I think it's Assassin's Creed, isn't it? If I do releases for this year in March... You know? Erica's helping her man get clips right now. What are you talking about? She's just hanging out. She hasn't been doing anything. Why does it go to the bottom of March when I go to the releases website? Remember, like renewal from Kiana Smiley. So no more than 2 Xbox consoles is what I'm getting, correct? I'm not... What do you mean no more than 2? No more than 2 what? By the way, if you guys are on Member Lite, you can upgrade for $1. Help us with the goal. Okay, so let's see here. We're on March the 5th. Okay. So March the 7th. Oh, wait. This is 2025. Whoops. Releases. March of 2025. All right. Let's take a look here. Actually, let's do February because then we can scroll down. I don't know why it does this. 2025, and we'll go to 2. If anything, I'd be clipped for being here. Oh, look at Erica in Reforge's chat. Yeah, she's not been in here trying to cause any issues. Like, hey, Lono, so how long have you been a pony? Like, you know what I mean? She's been cordial. So Fragpunk was supposed to be coming, it didn't. Dragonkin hits early access. No, I don't think I'm going to play that. Public, at least not. As far as like a public gameplay stream, Ronin hits PC on the 11th. I've already played that, so no reason to play it there for you guys. Let's see. Dungeons of Hinterberg hits PS5 on the 13th. That's not something that I would play. 33 Immortals goes into PC early access on the 18th. Don't think I would do that. Yeah, AC Shadows on the 20th is probably the next big game I would play for you guys in stream. That pony, I'm working as I listen. Right. We have that documented, so it's a non-starter of a question. What's non-starter as a question? What's documented? What Kiana's saying? First Berserker is a week after Assassins. I really liked the beta when I played it. It had a couple of bugs that I encountered. There was a bug where I couldn't heal. I had to reboot the game. Oh, how long you been a pony? Right. I will be trying the remaster of Days Gone. That's in May, though, isn't it? Oh, I just got here, so I'm asking when the next generation Xbox will it only be okay. Will it only be one, or is it going to be another 2-tier box? I don't know. All we know is from a reliable leaker who leaks stuff about Call of Duty, they said that hang on. The leaker said that the next Call of Duty for 2026 is being developed for next-gen consoles only, and it's also being developed for the next Xbox, which is making people say, oh, well, the next Xbox is then coming in 2026. We don't know if it'll be two-tier. We don't know if it's a handheld. We don't know if it's a PC hybrid. We sort of discussed today and debated one of the things that I have said is if they're going to be doing some sort of technical leap, like Sarah Bond said, I don't think they're going to be doing this on power. I think the technical leap is going to be some type of functionality. I have said many, many times, I think their next Xbox console, the marketing point of it will be more than a console. Right? They'll call it like the Xbox. They're like, the Xbox, more than a console. That'll be their selling point. They're not trying to out-console Sony and Nintendo, so why would they try to come to the market one more time and like fight on power? It just doesn't make any logical sense. They have basically completely got out of that boxing ring. They're not fighting that fight, so I think they come to the market with something that they sell on features. Like, as Phil Spencer said, they want their hardware to win based on its capabilities. Like, that to me says they're planning on bringing something to the market that's feature rich and not some kind of a power. Oh yeah, it's stronger. If they were going to try and market on power, I really believe this, I do not think they would be enhancing games on the PS5 Pro. They would leave themselves headroom. You don't want games on the strongest console in the market running as good as possible if in 18 months you're bringing something to the market to compete on power. It just doesn't make any sense. They kind of did that with the Xbox One and it shot them in the foot. I'm not sure what you're saying they did with the Xbox One, but I'm just here to tell you, I think they have changed. I think they've completely changed tactics. I think their goal is to say, this is more than a console. Savage Sharkbite hits 42 months at a VIP and gets us to 228. Many hands make light work. If you guys want to extend, I will give you until 2 o'clock. You got 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to secure yourself an evening stream. We'll change our plans this evening. Madam and I will give you some more Split Fiction. We'll hang out. It'll be fun. Well, Days Gone Remastered is April 25th. One day after. Oh, I thought it was May. One day after Claire. I'm definitely playing Expedition 33 day one. That game has the potential to make me a fan of turn-based. We're still 7 away. I thought maybe that the Savage Sharkbite VIP renewal would push us higher. We're 7 people away. Lono, what's your view of them doing a PC hybrid, giving it also a Windows bootable to use as a PC? Seems to me they could get a big chunk of customers of the mid-tier PC market. You have to ask the question. Bambi horror movie, The Reckoning. So Bambi must have gone into public domain. Did you see the Marathon DLCs are tied to the more expensive versions? I didn't see that, no. So if they do a PC hybrid like that, Boner Jams, such a great name to say. If they do a PC hybrid like that, right, and you're like, oh, the mid-tier PC market, is the mid-tier PC market going to want it? Do you know what I mean? Like, are they sitting here chomping at the bit to be like, oh, I would kill for that? I just don't know. I think there are some that would. I almost feel like a PC hybrid from Xbox is like a Venn diagram. There's like a slice of the PC guys that would want to get it. There's like a slice of the console guys that would want to get it. And then there's maybe a slice of the market that's like, you know, I've never really wanted to get into gaming, but that sounds pretty cool. It's kind of an all-in-one device. I don't know. I just don't think you're going to see the PC guys. Just don't seem like that would be a huge draw for them. Let's say they're a low-end PC person. They've got like a gaming laptop that can play Among Us. Are they going to be coaxed to buy it? Maybe if it performs better than their low-end PC. Yeah, so like if you've got somebody on a low-end or a mid-range PC and they're debating upgrading and they look at this device and they're like, oh, it's actually pretty fairly priced. Let's say it's like $500. Well, that's cheaper than upgrading their rig. You're not going to be... It won't be modular, right? Kiltson with a VIP gets us to $229. $229. You guys have 29 minutes. We're gonna be switching gears for Green Room. You got 29 minutes. I'll even let you extend the stream as well, and then we'll play. If you guys did not see Madam and I playing Split Fiction, holy crap, it was fun. I can see the next box having Steam support for sure. I'm waiting for Steam to just launch. Oh, we would have to do that tomorrow night. Yeah, we would have to do the Split Fiction stream tomorrow night. So tonight we would play Returnal. Yeah. We'd have to switch a little bit of gears. Yeah, I'd have to switch. I wouldn't be able to do that tonight because they don't want us to do any more. They asked us not to do any more streams. So we wouldn't be able to do that. Risic says, I don't understand why you would make another console when your games are going to PlayStation. That is a good question. It really is a good question. I don't know. Here, let me change it. We got to change it to Returnal. We could do Split Fiction tomorrow. Tonight we'd have to do Returnal. I know you guys like watching me play Returnal. Well, how about some 2 different perspectives, all right? I can set it up again. We got the 2 different perspectives, the 2 different monitors, 2 different capture cards. We'll do a little Returnal tonight instead. Yeah, I just don't... Yeah, Risic, exactly. I think that's a fair question. But again, listen to Phil Spencer. I just beat Returnal last night. I'm still confused. Oh, it's so good. Listen to what Phil Spencer says. It's like they want to stay in the market with hardware. They want to stay in the market with hardware. They want to consistently, they want to have a box. It's in the name. Now again, he could just be saying what needs to be said in the moment to satiate the existing crowd and keep them hanging on a little bit longer. The initiatives are all decoupled. They just want to sell a box to people willing to pay for a box. That's possible as well. That is entirely possible. That they're just like, I like the way that Zubair has put that today. Like everything has become decoupled. It's like nothing is really connected to itself anymore. They've got like multiple initiatives, which if you really think about it, if you look at how Satya has talked about everything and how they've kind of set up all of their stuff, thumbnail test completed? Test stopped? View test report. Oh. You were going to run 3. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I feel like the way Satya has spoken about things and, and the way that Phil's talking about things, it feels like everything's been very like decoupled and separated. It's like we have all these different initiatives and things that we're doing, and none of them are really connected. Like, I've even said, I don't think when you watch their showcase this year, I just don't know if they're going to bang very loudly on the Game Pass drum. I think Game Pass will be present. It will be in the trailers, but I just don't know if that's like central to the brand anymore. The PlayStation beta sign up might be referencing PS5 cloud streaming on browser, no console required. That would be interesting. So you would just buy the games through the cloud. That would be very interesting if they did that. I would love to get, more cloud capability on my portal. It feels like, once again, Xbox is trying to reinvent the wheel on what is a console yet again. PG Creamy says, decoupling wouldn't mean they are not concerned with hurting their own ability to maximize sales. Competing with their cash cows seems counterintuitive. First TV, then everything is an Xbox. And now what's the third round? Jack, I made a video where I talked about how I felt like they were just making the same mistakes all over again. I feel like they're targeting non-gamers. Is there a game showcase this month? According to Ecstasis, there's going to be a partner preview Xbox event this month. Yeah. Neil Druckmann says don't count any more Last of Us games. I want to look more closely at what he said. I feel like he's going to qualify it. I really do. I feel like he was saying beyond The Last of Us Part 3, don't bet on it. There won't be any more. I don't know. I feel like they already confirmed they're working on it. That his answer is so bizarre. His answer is so bizarre. It's like, wait, I thought you guys confirmed you're making it. $34 million subscribers is actually quite a lot of people invested in Game Pass. PlayStation has 45 million on PS Plus. The ratio of subscriber to console owners is in favor of Xbox. It's a Game Pass box. Right, but you're assuming that they're happy with that. I think they've demonstrated they're not happy with that as they moved day and date to Ultimate and raised the price of Ultimate. How do you interpret that as a consumer, Jeff? So when you see Xbox say, well, day and date is now on Ultimate, and we've raised the price of Ultimate. Oh, and by the way, you can get day and date on Game Pass PC. It's $11.99. So if you want day and date on console, it's $20 a month. As a consumer, how do you interpret that? I interpret that as they're pretty much not too pleased with the results, and they're now starting to do the classic strategy. I subscribe to Game Pass and I like it as a consumer. That's how I interpret it. No. I didn't ask you what you think of Game Pass. I'm saying, how do you interpret their decision? What do you think they're signaling by doing that? They're clearly signaling something. When they move the lead feature of Game Pass, day and date, they move that to Ultimate and raise the price of Ultimate. Why do you think they're doing that? Take a stab at it. Guess. What are you theorizing? Because you're basically saying, oh, they got a higher ratio of subscribers to console sales, which actually has more to do with with their hardware failing to sell well than anything. Well, that's a different question. They need the money because they aren't selling games. Okay. So they need the money because they're not selling games. Now, I want you to couple that with what Satya Nadella has been talking about. How now they can do what they've always wanted to do, which is put games on all platforms. Okay? They want to function more as a publisher. So doesn't that feel to you, I'm not trying to do leading the witness here, but doesn't that feel to you like they're shifting away from Game Pass being so central? They need to make more money on Game Pass because they're not selling games. They're pivoting into really focusing on selling games and putting them on more platforms. That feels like that rudder is shifting and turning so slightly, changing the trajectory of the company to be not fully centralized around oh no, yeah, Game Pass is it. Even if you watch the most recent Phil Spencer interviews, how much does Game Pass even come up? And they're talking with the head of Xbox Game Studios. They're talking about putting games in more places. They're talking about games. They're talking about game releases. I feel like Game Pass is very subtly taking a back seat. I don't disagree. They're definitely shifting. Going multi-plat is the proof in the pudding, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not arguing that it should bother you. I'm just always curious how a consumer is interpreting what they're doing. Because if you're still on their box and you're still on Game Pass, do you have any amount of concern that, like, just fast forward with me 10 years? In 10 years, I anticipate still having a PlayStation, all my games, back compat, all on a nice piece of hardware. I anticipate in 2035 playing on a PlayStation 6. Are you concerned that that's more difficult to do? Like that, I think that's more difficult to do, to have that confidence on Xbox. Because I can't say that. I can't say confidently that in 10 years I'll be able to go to buy some really nice Xbox piece of hardware and all my stuff's there. I just feel like they're shifting so much. I have such little confidence in what they're doing. If Microsoft can confirm you get to carry over your library on any Windows machine, then that's all I need. Yeah, that doesn't do much for me, you know? I think they want to sell cheap hardware to people who want cheap hardware. Not everybody wants to spend Sony money. Yeah. Yeah, there's always room in the market for that. There's always room in the market for somebody to be scooping up the lower edge of the spend. I don't think it's a great idea given what we know about the spend and what we know about the people who do. So, you guys have in 17 minutes we're going to go to Green Room. I'll actually, this is what we'll do. The returnal goal is 350. If you guys can get us to 300, we'll extend, we'll keep going. I want to give you guys the opportunity. I don't know if all the heavy hitters have come in and flexed their muscles today, especially since we basically had the day off yesterday. We primarily focused on Split Fiction. So if you guys want to do that, you can. The incentive is to do more evening streams. Specifically, we were going to do that this week in particular, because we were going to do that this week in particular because of Split Fiction. But we have to push that incentive to tomorrow. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we can give you guys extra streams if we hit these stretches. And then tonight, we'll just do Returnal to whet your appetite for the 2 perspective co-op stream now. I've got it set up to do 2 perspectives, 2 monitors, 2 capture cards. It should be an amazing time. Game save transfers are nice from Xbox console to PC. Louis says, why make it hurt the rest of us by making every game prioritized for the weakest thing out there? 2 times the fun? That's right. Jeff says, hopefully Microsoft does right by the consumer in the digital library. If Xbox dies, maybe most of those titles can carry over to PC. They seem committed to back compat. I want them to be committed, and I know they're not. And this is why I've just kind of parted ways with really wanting to invest in whatever they do in the future. I wanted them to invest in console, and they're not. So if they invest in like a hybrid, again, that just feels like I'm primarily going to be playing on my PlayStation. I'll be playing on my PlayStation 6. I'll be playing on a PlayStation 6 Pro. I'll be playing on a PlayStation handheld. And when it comes to Xbox, it's like I might get their hybrid box just so I can have the ease of Steam in my living room. You know? I have a great example. My girlfriend has kids who play Roblox, so she got them the Series S, and there's no issue with the S. I'd be curious to see what happens if and when they're able to do like a price drop on PlayStation. If they could do a price drop on PlayStation, like if you could go get a PS5 digital for $400 or even $350, that can really squeeze and make it tough for people to justify buying Series S. You're looking at a PlayStation 5 where you're getting everything, basically. Except for Steam, except for games you can only get on Steam, which, again, the average consumer probably ain't paying much attention to that. So the average consumer's going in the store, and they see a price drop on PS5 digital down to $400 to $350. I don't know if they're ever going to do a price drop. If and when they can do a price drop, that could be significance. So Xstasis is calling out a fake post. This is fake. I never said this. The funniest thing is that these trolls don't provide a link to anything. They're claiming that Xstasis said PlayStation is expected to port several games to Xbox around this summer, though the specific titles remain unknown at this time. Xstasis is shutting it down and saying, I didn't say that. Price drop in November. I don't know. I don't know. It makes their box a viable product. I think that's a benefit to them. They need some sort of value add, whether that's the price or the compatibility. That's exactly what I expect Sony to do. Try and match or undercut a cheaper Xbox. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they ever will. I don't know if PlayStation will feel the need to do the price drop. I don't know, because GTA 6 will potentially be a nice big bump for them. And then if the Call of Duty rumors are to be believed, then next year it's another bump for them. They basically getting the people to switch from PS4 is the big, is kind of the big lacking thing. I'm not going to say anything just yet. I don't see the hybrid box being a thing, says Chris. I see a Surface-branded Xbox that is focused on cloud and AI. Besides the most technological leap, she also said focus on forward compatibility. That's true, she did. But a PC hybrid could do that. No way they could do a price drop with potential tariffs. Yeah, I mean, the tariffs are obviously a looming shadow. Guys, really, really quickly, make sure you saved your like. Make sure that YouTube saved your like. We're so close to 400. We got like 12 minutes. I'm letting you guys extend. You're going to have to bat signal some of the big boys in here to extend today. We're also running an incentive this week for evening streams. If you guys want them, we'll do them. And then if not, that's fine. We'll go to Green Room and we'll take the normal night off that we typically do, but we typically only do Madam streams on Friday. But yeah, gaming is dead. Crispy Bogod left a comment on the review. Great review, Lono. Can't wait to dive into this one. Gaming is dead. Oh yeah, it's so dead. It is so dead. Oh, what did you do at that point? We got like a little bump. I wonder if the thumbnail test caused the bump. Did you get to my question? Had to step away. No, it's right here. Adam King says, if Xbox does well in the console market next cycle, is there any chance they reverse course on being a publisher? No. The things that they've done are too tectonic. This aircraft carrier's not turning around. No. And I don't think they're ever going to be like... They would never be strong enough in the console market again to change course. Now you're saying if they do well, I mean, they could bring something to market and it hits at the right time. I mean, Nintendo Switch hit and everyone underestimated it. You know what I mean? No, you can ask a question. We've got 10 minutes. You guys have 10 minutes to extend. It's probably not going to happen. You need 71 members in 10 minutes. We're trying to catch up on pace. We were behind pace because we basically took the day off yesterday. We didn't take the day off. We just didn't do our traditional talk show. So I was extending and letting you guys, have a run at it. So, them doing well in the console market, I just don't think that would ever make them say, yeah, we got to change course here. I just don't think so. They've so firmly switched on so many initiatives, and so much of it seems tied to Satya. I don't think Satya would be like, hey, you guys did pretty good with hardware. Let's completely change our tactics. Wired Rope with a $5 super chat tip says, my conspiracy is they allow your Xbox to boot into Vazite Steam OS by accident. Now you have a Steam box and can play all Steam games. Lord Horg gifts a member, and he gets us a 20 bomb away from 250. We'll see if anybody takes the bait. Sometimes you guys can start the fire with just a little bit of a spark, and the big boys start tuning in and going crazy. I will owe you guys more members at 250. I get an Xbox no matter what till they don't have one to get. Even though I play and buy 90% on PlayStation. We didn't start the fire, that's right. Yeah, I don't know if it would be an accident though, Wired Rope. I don't know if it would be an accident. I think that they would make that part of the sale. They would, that's one of the things I've been saying is they would say this is more than an Xbox, right? This is more than no, I'm sorry, not more than an Xbox. They would say it's more than a console. More than a console. That's an easy marketing push, easy marketing sell. This thing is more than a console, more than a console. I think they would be coy about it. I mean, Phil said they want their hardware to win on its capabilities. If you could sideload Steam or boot into Steam, I don't think they would be coy about that. My theory is that the new hardware plan gets to Nutella's desk and he laughs and goes, what? And he goes about his day. Aren't they fiscally motivated to not allow Steam on their hardware? No, because you're thinking in the old way. They're thinking in the old way. I'm sorry, you're thinking in the old way. Hang on, my Chrome chat just died. I gotta refresh. Xbox wouldn't care about that. Xbox would not be doing hardware to have this closed box ecosystem where you can only do their stuff. Phil Spencer has literally said they want storefronts on their box. What's the old way? You're thinking that they're going to release a box and care about it being closed. Phil Spencer has quite literally expressed interest in having other storefronts on their box. So they're not thinking in that way anymore. World-renowned GeoHound says, the gentleman that used to pop in here for your gaming news, Mike, 30 and Still Gaming, he's been pushing weird talking points of consoles are dying, look how bad PlayStation's doing. I would need to know exactly what he said and what he was reporting on. Because consoles are not dying and PlayStation's not doing poorly. PlayStation is setting MAU records, and all of their records indicate they're getting new users. The opposite is true of PlayStation. Do you guys still argue over this? We've not done a show in a long time. We're still friends. We were doing a Friday show, and it just started performing so terribly that I was like, I can't justify doing this. The audience was just not responding well to it. So Mike said similar things. He said consoles will become a niche. I don't think Switch 1 selling 150 million and Switch 2 being projected to outpace Switch 1. And I don't think what the PlayStation ecosystem is doing is signs that it will become niche. I don't. I think people misread. I think people read the stats and don't really understand what they're reading. So, as an example, mobile gaming is so much bigger than the number of people that play on their Switch. Does that mean that Switch is niche? I feel like people use the numbers very incorrectly. Okay, there are how many mobile gamers out there? How many? How many global mobile gamers are there? How many? Around 3 billion. Around 2 billion. Somewhere between 2 and 3 billion. Does that explosion of mobile gaming mean that Nintendo has become niche? Like, so PC gaming has trajectories for growth with users. Like in certain markets especially, there's good trajectory for PC user growth like in China. Does that growth then therefore mean that console becomes niche? You think GTA 6 is launching the most anticipated, probably biggest game of the decade on console only, and you think consoles are going to become niche? That doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? I think what people do is they see, well, PC is going to be so much bigger. That makes it niche. And it's like, not really. PlayStation and Nintendo are still making tons of money and will continue to make tons of money. I don't think you're suddenly going to see like Nintendo just not be in the market. I just don't think so. They've been in the market for how long? It's all gaming, but dramatically different markets. Right. I think that gets conflated. It's like, I don't think one is like cannibalizing the other. We have to somehow separate based on the games that are capable of playing. If you set up to bring people on for Thursdays, let me know. I'm home on Thursdays during the day and happy to contribute. Oh, for sure. Thursdays at noon. All right, we got 3 minutes. All right, I'm setting up Green Room. There's no way. You guys would need the most insane member train ever seen on the channel if we're gonna extend. So I'm just gonna schedule Green Room. Exactly what I've told him in chat. But he kept saying the data says it's dying. You're wrong. I mean, there is no data that indicates that consoles are dying. There's no indication that consoles are becoming niche. That's not true. And data doesn't speak for itself. Data must be interpreted. I don't see any interpretation that consoles are dying and becoming niche. We've been hearing that it's stagnant and dying and not doing well, and yet somehow PlayStation's getting new user acquisition. That should be impossible. If the industry isn't growing, stagnating, dying, and heading to becoming niche, then how is PlayStation acquiring new users? When they reported in 2023, 30% of their user base had never had a PS4. They just reported that 42% of the people who bought a PS5 last quarter were new users. Where are these people coming from? If you ask Piscatella if consoles are dying, he would roll his eyes. Markets are cyclical. So yeah, I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. I think that, you know what I mean? Constance is important for this next statement. Run those member trains on Lono. You guys have 2 minutes. If we hit 250, I would give you a stay of execution. I would honor it. I would say, okay, let's keep going. But we're not even at 250 yet. It was just a fun idea and a fun incentive. We don't have to do it. We could try again tomorrow. It's fine. It's fine. But if we hit 250, I would give you a stay of execution. I would let you keep trying. We did hit 400 likes, so thank you for that. We did it. We hit 400 likes. Likes have been so hard to get on the platform lately. I think it's because the website glitches and like doesn't save them. I expect consoles to get a surge going forward if the GPU market doesn't totally realign, and it won't because there's AI money to be made. I do. I think the end of this gen, it's going to be really hard for anybody to claim that the consoles are dying and that things are headed to niche. I think the end of this gen is going to make that very hard to claim because I think PlayStation 5 has very, very healthy trajectories. I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to make it almost impossible to claim that, to be like, oh yeah, it's niche or it's dying. It's like, again, you would never make that argument against like, well, there's 2 billion mobile gamers versus the 150 million Nintendo Switch sales. So clearly Nintendo didn't do very well in its niche and dying. The attempt to justify the death of the Xbox console in the rationalization of the entire console market dying, yet Nintendo and PlayStation account for nearly 40% of all gaming sales. Right? Like, the amount of gaming sales that come from PlayStation and Nintendo, I don't know what to tell you. All right, last call. I'm going to get you guys the link, and we're going to go to the green room. I got to set up redirect. And... all right. You got to be member plus and above to come to green room. This is a reason to upgrade. We need 7 people to upgrade to hit a huge milestone. Thank you guys so much for the support today. There's a link to the green room. Hey, thank you so much for being a member plus or a VIP. Oh, we're so close. You guys have got us like right on the edge. We need 7 people to upgrade. So if you've upgraded or signed up recently and you're watching this green room, man, thank you. You have us at the highest number we've ever been on the channel. Hitting that 600 is a huge goal, and you guys have contributed to it. If you're watching the tail end of the stream, thank you so much for your support today, your likes, your super chats, and all the gifts as well. I'm going to end the stream and redirect folks over. I am going to change that thumbnail as well.